Welcome everyone to Our Town Podcast. Please take a moment to like and subscribe, share if you can, and review if available. We'd love to hear from you, so comment below and tell us how we're doing. Don't forget to visit ourtownpodcast.com for all the links and join the members only section of the website or sign up on Patreon.
Yes.
Do it now.
Now here are the boys of Our Town Podcast.
Oh my God, that'd be me and you. Because I feel like, I'm Daryl and this is my brother Larry. Or is it the other way?
I'm Larry. This is my brother Daryl. My other brother Daryl.
Well, welcome everybody to another exciting edition of Our Town Podcast. Episode 108, boys. 108 for those keeping track. Tonight's safe word, boys, is $7.49.
How about free bacon?
Because that is the cost of a dozen Kroger brand grade AA large eggs from Fred Meyer as of a couple days ago when I looked online to see what the price was. $7.49.
How high is that? I don't normally buy eggs.
I would think if you asked me a dozen eggs, like
$1.99.
$1.99.
Right?
Yeah.
What do you
Like
think?
$2, $3.
But the question is, why is it that high?
Well, right now,
Does
bird
somebody go-
flu. The bird flu.
Yeah, so that's supply and demand. Some
Because-
I'm pretty convinced that if there really is inflation, I kind of thought of this as well. But
Yeah.
then everybody would be hurt.
Yeah.
Right? How can you have record profits and a record stock market, record valuations, and record, all these things by a lot, and it's inflation?
Yeah.
Really? That's
It's corporate greed is what it is.
well, I think it's worth making examination now.
Yeah. Well, just because before we start,
That's
this
a
is-
lie. It's-
Yeah, I do too. I mean, I can't live without them. We're going to do an advice episode. We're just going to give out a whole bunch of advice. So
Where did all the-
don't call in right now because we're not going to answer the phone.
Yeah.
Because we didn't do this live. So yeah.
Well,
But before we do that, there's some other numbers I wanted to share with you that I heard today. 8 million. That's the dollar amount if you want to buy a 30-second ad for the Super Bowl that's coming up in a couple of weeks.
less than I would have thought.
$1 million. And I thought, man, we should do that. We should get a Super Bowl ad. I just couldn't borrow $8 million.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out.
I Thurston Howell the third is listening. Give you one. Yes. Said
I actually heard this earlier today that several people that normally have a big trailer park movie coming out next year usually has it during the big game, and they're not doing it this year.
Or nobody's doing it like Superman's not doing it.
Well, Warner Brothers is not doing it for sure because last year they had the big one with the Flash, and that didn't go well. So.
Was that last year?
Yeah.
Jeez, it seems like
Jeez.
a couple years ago.
It does.
I mean, well, it came out last year. It was supposed to come out 2-3 years ago.
Okay. Yeah, and the other number I want to share with you guys, 6%.
Ah.
That is the population number of people in Greenland that actually want to join the United States. 6%.
I think there's more than that of people who want to join Canada.
Yeah, probably.
Once Cascadia is a province.
Oh my God. Oh my
Here we go.
God.
Yeah, jeez.
And some sad news I just saw today, Marianne Faithfull, rest in peace. 80-something years old, just passed away, I think, this morning. So.
Yeah, she was before the British invasion, right? Or just
Yeah.
about that time?
Yeah, kind of pre-Beatles or right around the Beatles when they got their start. Doing poppy stuff, right?
She had a little bit of a resurgence in the 90s because she did that little hum, not hum, a lot. She did the opening to one of Metallica songs.
Oh,
That's cool.
was that a like they used something from before? Or did
No.
they bring her in to
They bring her in to record her
that's
la-di-da-di-da into the beginning of the song. I don't remember what song it is off the top of my head.
Interesting.
And she's in the music video too.
Okay. All right. Well, as I mentioned, boys, tonight we're dishing out some advice to hapless victims out there. that are seeking.
Are we talking about the FAFO people, or are we talking about other people in general? Fuck around and find out?
Oh, no, just random
Okay.
people, random.
I mean, we don't want to spend the whole evening laughing at people's, misfortune.
No,
I don't know.
we definitely
This
want,
first to go.
if
We can help somebody, right? Because between us, we have 150 something.
150 plus years of living.
Oh, yes.
Jeez, we've all been kids.
Yes. I was a
We've all
kid
been in
once.
relationships. We've all had jobs. We've all lost jobs.
Many.
We've all had relationships. We've all lost
I've had
relationships.
a few, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, trust in this brain trust.
I think as far as relationships go, these guys have got more positive than negative, I think, than me.
Oh, shit.
Positive to negative, no.
I mean, what I mean is in comparison to me, because I've only had maybe 3 or 4 relationships.
Okay. Yeah.
And
No,
they've
I've
all,
definitely had more negative relationships.
they've all ended,
From a certain point of view, yeah.
and all of mine have all ended in spectacular fashion.
Oh, no. Explosions and,
Of emotion, yeah.
Yeah,
And some, yeah.
I can see that. Well, folks, take this opportunity right now. If you enjoyed this show, definitely subscribe, whatever you're listening to on. Go to our Patreon and sign up there. We're easy to find. Or go to our website and sign up in the members only. We've got some bonus content there to go. Every little bit helps us keep producing content for you. So just a little reminder, if you like the show, if you think it's worth $5 or $1,
Yeah,
We'd
and
love
it
to
makes
have
us terribly happy.
It does.
It really does.
Yeah.
It's like the amount of joy that you can bring for like $1.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
It's
Yeah.
more joy than a squeaky toy with a donkey.
And it keeps Mike's cats in
Yes,
fish.
yeah.
So let's jump into this, boys. The first one, nerds. I've been dating my fiance for about 5 years. Me, 33 male, and him, a 31-year-old male. I'm a teacher who makes okay money, but I'm also fairly frugal and budget my money well. He is in sales, and this past year had a very good year. Great commissions, promotion, boss loves him, etc. Here's the issue. He's not been frugal. We're supposed to get married next year, 2026, and this man went out and bought a fancy new Mercedes and a boat. He is even entertaining signing us, he puts it in quotes, up for this timeshare thing.
Yeah, jeez.
All of this is on loans, so he's running up debt for, quote, us before we even get married. Should I forego the wedding until he pays all this off? I'm also worried that if we don't do it now, like getting married, the government will stop all legal gay marriages. So,
Oh, geez, well, that's not. But if
so-
they do that, then they will also just disallow it, right? And just say
yeah,
it didn't.
it wouldn't count anyway. And Washington State wouldn't do that to you. I don't know if federally regulated.
Well, some things are left up to the states, but other stuff are like, no, you must do exactly what you
Yeah,
said.
I know if it works or not. But what do you guys think? I would be scared as hell if you're going to hitch your wagon to this person that spends money like
Well, they
crazy.
should, if it's gonna bother our writer, then they
Yeah.
should go talk to an economic
Oh,
advisor, because that's part of getting married anyway.
That's
Because
true.
they've been
That's a
together
good
for the
idea.
next 50 years.
Yeah.
Economics is part of it.
Yeah.
So you might as well sit down and go, these are the goals to retirement or whatever.
Mhm.
So how do we reach those goals?
Yeah.
right?
I mean, you
And
guys
then
are
they would be
still
able to,
pretty young.
Discuss that in a neutral setting,
30 years old, but yeah, I mean, you got to start thinking about
Hey,
that.
no, you talk somebody else into getting a boat.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then you get
So
to
that
be
you
on
get,
it.
yes.
Yeah. Don't buy it.
Yeah.
I mean, if they're spending money like that, it's disposable. If you think there's ever a chance that they would get fired from that job, that all goes away.
Yeah, and there is such a thing as, marital debt and what you sort of bring into the marriage is what you sort of take out of the marriage. I think that's true. I think you're in Washington State. I think that's true in Washington State.
To
I would
very least,
imagine to some degree.
to very least get a prenup.
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
that's an
it's a-
opportunity too.
I guess, and, or just, I mean, it's obviously worth a conversation.
Definitely need to have a conversation about it.
Because that's not saying somebody's behavior is bad or whatever, but it's just like, that means that their goals are short-term goals, and then looking into a long-term goal might not be a bad idea.
Well,
Right, because everybody gets over your 30 now, dude.
What-
But if
what
you
is
wanna
what is
not
it?
stress when you're 50,
What is it, average car loan, like 5 years, 7 years, I don't know.
never that one.
The one I had was like 12 years.
12 years, geez. That is a long time, and if, I don't have Mercedes, like, what's a new Mercedes, like 80 grand or something? Geez, I
Yeah, I
mean,
don't want.
if he's got the means for it,
Yeah.
I mean, spend your
But
money how
both
you
of
want to
those
spend it.
big
but-
ticket items depreciate immediately.
Yes.
The minute you throw them off the lot,
They're done.
they drop at least a
Yeah,
third.
yeah,
Just boom.
yeah. And I don't know much about timeshares, but I heard all the commercials about timeshare exits.
Yes.
Don't
It's
do
its
it.
own industry.
Yes.
On how to get out of it.
How to get out of it. Anybody else
Yeah.
know anything?
I mean, my sister has, is in one. My mom had it. My sister ended up getting it. 'Cause,
Did she inherited it?
yeah.
All I know is like you know, it sounds good on paper, obviously, because you come, you just pay. But I hear that the fees, like the maintenance fees and
Yeah.
stuff, can just be
And there's
astronomical.
no way they can't continue to increase.
Yes.
Right, it's like,
Yeah.
initially, the building has to pay off its debt or whatever, but it's
Yeah.
like, all buildings decay, especially when they get 70 years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah.
but I get it, I kind of like the idea, but
Yeah.
I think there's just a lot of swindlers.
Kyle,
It's
our,
not my scene.
our show philosopher, we had lunch with a couple of weekends
This
ago.
is unreal.
He was talking about a timeshare where they had a boat.
It's
where
a
they-
boat, it's like a 65-foot catamaran.
But they don't, but it's not the same boat every time. It's just, you pick
Oh, it
the
was
boat.
this
So I
time.
can't imagine that there's like maintenance fees. I'd have to ask her.
That's just a lot.
I'm a little scared to get it.
But people like that have people to
Yeah.
handle all their money stuff.
Yes.
You know what I mean? No, what's you have? You have a house manager who manages people who manage the shit. That's insane.
Oh my God. So what are we telling this person? Be careful, get a lot of financial advice
Yeah.
beforehand.
Yeah, man, well, because a marriage is a plan for the future, just by
Yes.
nature of what it is,
Yeah.
right? So,
Prenup, somebody said prenup.
I said prenup, at the very least, keep your finances separate.
Yeah, and you can have a fun religious or family ceremony where you commit to each other without doing the legal process.
Yeah.
Sometimes the legal process is good because it helps with.
well, a lot of legal things.
Like,
right.
if you go to the hospital, you will people are allowed to see your
Yes.
family or your
Yeah,
your spouse.
or if something bad does happen, right? Oh, yeah, for sure. And it's legal. I
I
get it.
mean, there,
Or you can become domestic partners.
dude, I mean,
I don't
yeah.
know what the ramifications
Renegades,
financial.
man, rebels.
My friend, her name is Chaos Wildcat. She has a ministry thing where she marries people. Like, she's done weddings, she's done hand fasting, she's done all the different styles of.
I like that name.
What her
Hermit.
Chaos Wildcat. Yeah, no, she's great people. She's been my best friend since like '92. But no, she's great people. But yeah, last time I actually went to one of these events with a friend of ours, a mutual friend of ours, and she did the officiating. She had like what do you call it, the
Robes.
minister, not robes, but the thing
Oh,
around the neck,
yeah.
Staff
This
or whatever.
Scarf.
scarf thing, yeah. And she had that and it had like Celtic knots all over it and stuff. She was doing a hand fasting for a couple.
Nice.
It's kind of like, it's like a marriage without all the legality of it.
Did she do any like pre-marital counseling kind of stuff? Or?
I don't know if she does that. I know that she's been doing it for close to 15 years, I think, at this point, but yeah.
All right, yeah, I mean, take your time. No reason to rush into anything either. So if you're having any kind of doubts, whether it be financial or otherwise, take your time with it, seek some counseling.
Yeah, talk about it.
Talk about it.
Because y'all are going to be talking to each other for 50
Oh,
years. You might as well get used to it now, right? Or just push it down. Push it down. Keep it down there. Keep it down there.
Bad advice.
Push it down.
If you're looking for my friend, Chaos Wildcat with K, it's a Z. Chaos with a K. Wildcat with a K.
Oh, everything. Okay. All right. Awesome. Well, good luck to you guys.
Yeah.
Happy returns, happy life.
Yeah.
Happy husband, happy wife.
Happy partner, happy life.
There you go. Nerds.
What?
Is this nice coworker at my job, older lady, that does a good job. The problem we all have with her, she wears heavy perfume all day, every day.
No.
She's in the cubicle right next to mine, and I smell her all day. I have a sensitive nose, and
Same.
asked my boss if I can move, but there's no spare desks or cubicles in our apartment, so I have to suck it up for now. I'm dependent, I hope. Do I go to her direct or to HR? It sounds like she. I don't know if this is. It sounds like she's already gone or he's already gone to. The boss. Okay, ask the boss.
It doesn't say that they said why.
Why they want to move.
Yeah, because
it's got to smell.
I've actually had this. I was actually telling someone about this yesterday. Last job I had was in 2014, before I started the process of getting a disability. And there was someone in the call center who wore heavy perfume. Well, my sinuses have not worked in the last 15 years. Right around the time I had that job was when my sinuses were starting to get all weird. I couldn't smell it, but my body was just like reacting to it. My nails would twitch, my throat would close up. It was not pleasant. And one day I was just like, you need some perfume, because that's the only time this or animal dander will do it to me. And I was like, this person in the next cubicle over
To work with the wolf.
what?
Because that would be Dan in the office.
No. So I asked the person next to me, did you smell anything? Because I'm having like an allergic reaction to whatever is in the air. And I think somebody's wearing really fake perfume. It's kind of.
Was it every day?
No, it wasn't every day, but that day was.
Was it an older lady?
I don't remember who it was. It was probably an older person, or somebody who was just really
Those
like.
who do,
They,
you know,
And there's dudes that wear too much like
Oh,
rock hard.
whatever it is, yeah.
oh, dude. Okay.
But HR would decide if that was within the rules of the
Yeah.
workplace.
So-
Because telling somebody what they can or can't do with their own thing is like, that's an HR job. That's not a person to person job.
Dracar Noir is one that I absolutely, a friend of mine wears it, and I try to be very nice about it. Like, can you like not wear that when you're around me?
Do you not bathe in that?
I mean, and he goes, well, last time I talked to him, he was like, yeah, I put it on like an hour and a half before you came over. Like, do you have to wear it? I mean,
I don't drink it the night.
We're not
before.
making out.
well, I mean, the thing is like, he swears that women love that smell. And I was like, to me, it smells like cat piss.
I don't hate it, but it just always gets heavy.
Well, and I don't know if you're going out to the club or some shit, maybe, but all day, every day, you know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah,
if you're at work, I don't know why you have, but because you're in existence and people.
I'm picturing the little girl.
About it.
Where there was Night at the Roxbury.
It's so good.
yeah. When we went over, this is my friend that I've gone over to Eastern Washington with, and the last time we were over there, I went to the bathroom. I was like, oh my god, what is this? And like when I saw the bottle, like put it close to my face, like, oh shit, what's that? And I was like, dude, can you like maybe like use less?
Yeah.
You won't put it on already. Less.
Yeah.
Less is better.
Yeah.
You don't have to.
I gotta say, I've got a hyper olfactor as well. Like if I'm in the wife's car, she always gets like she'll be driving and she has a little bottle and it's like lavender. It's not like scented something.
Yeah.
And she'll start putting it on and I'll like roll down the window as I'm looking at it.
And why does that stuff have to have a perfume in it?
It doesn't need a
It's up to
perfume. But
moisturize.
even it just because it's in an enclosed little area.
And then-
cocoa butter's not bad.
Yeah. I mean, I've had female friends who like, say,
Oh, yeah,
what kind of
gas.
what scents do you like? And I was like, I don't like fake flowery smells.
I like the smell of work. I don't know.
I was like, I mean, seriously, I mean, perfumes in general are just so overpowering for me. It's too much. And like, if you have to wear it, don't put on a lot. Put on very, very, very little.
Spray, sachet.
It's one of those things, spray in front of you and walk through.
Yes, spray, sachet.
Yeah.
That's all you need.
Because I didn't know that.
Yeah, no, I mean,
You don't have to spray it directly. And this is for guys, girls, kids,
Yeah.
dogs, whatever.
I want to tell him that it smells like cat piss, but I don't want to piss him off or upset him. They're like, dude, this stuff is really gross smelling. Don't bathe
That
it.
was all the rage in like the early
Oh, no, it's
90s,
right,
right?
it was huge. In the 90s, right? 80s or 90s.
But-
I know it was still the 90s.
But apparently women love that smell.
No, they don't.
I don't know, I don't know.
No,
But what if you ran across like
it's like Spanish fly.
It's a very strong musky smell. It's
I don't know if I could pick it out of a room. But
well, if you've ever been next to a dirty cat box, it smells like that.
No, but if you smelled it again, it would take you back without knowing what it is. If
Yeah,
somebody
that's-
just sprayed the air, you'd be like, oh, that's what it is. Because you would instantly recognize
It smells like it smells like a dirty cat box to me.
it. Children number 5 is not that great. It's
I
like
don't
old
know.
lady smells.
Yeah. Is it old lady smell?
I think so. But
Yeah, we
then,
brought a cow down there. Maybe we should do top 5 weird scents that people purposefully put on their bodies.
foot.
Yeah.
So
They're doing that on purpose.
about
The mentholatum, right? Or what?
back in 2010 when the Axe body spray became massive,
Axe, that's the other one.
somebody suggested at a local convention, a nerd convention, that they get sponsored by Axe and so they can hand this out. That people are going to be offended that you're offering the body spray.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, what are you suggesting I smell?
Yeah.
I was like, well, if you put this on, you would definitely smell.
What are you trying to say?
No, promo. Just as
Is Axe the drug carnivore of
I think
2015?
It's not as bad as Drakkar, because Drakkar smells like cat piss to me.
well, and
It really
body
does.
spray doesn't have the same distinctive. Barnard is kind of like a Chanel type thing.
It's
like an
a
upper.
perfume that
It's
smells like cat
purporting
piss.
to be an upper thing, right? That's like,
Oh, trying to be like fancy.
yeah, because it's
Oh,
a
body
cologne or whatever. It's
Is
not
it
a body
like
spray is like an aerosol.
It's like Brut
I don't remember
Brut
Brut. I remember
33
ads for
or Old Spice. Old Spice was like the working
scent,
scent,
right? Yeah.
That was like the working.
Yeah.
And I guess-
it's a skin tightener or whatever that does.
Drakkar is like cologne.
Like
It's
which
not
one?
aftershave.
I believe so.
But yeah, I think it's like a
Unless they
mid-range.
have that same scent in other products.
It's gotta be like a mid-range.
I don't know, it's not my thing. I haven't done any of that since.
All right, so our advice, we're unanimous on this, go to HR.
Oh, that's major.
Or maybe
You can't tell somebody.
Yeah, go to
Because that's gonna get you.
It's not your house.
It's gonna get you in more trouble.
Yeah. You can tell somebody what they can do when they come into your house. I don't like it.
All right, let's move on. Good, hope, I think I know
We're getting
Todd,
super fan.
Todd and I really feel for you. I think Mike does too. Todd and I,
Absolutely.
factory,
Yeah, no, we.
sensitive, we're
Yeah.
there with you, brother. We're like that. Nerds!
Hey!
My best friend is dating a girl that he is gaga over. Head over heels kind of thing. He has even dropped the quote, she's the one statement to our friend group.
Wow.
Our friend group is all in our late 20s and 30s, so marriage isn't that far-fetched. She comes from outside our group, and there's nothing wrong with her, and she's nice enough. The problem is, she isn't that into him,
Oh,
at least
man.
not the way he is. She rolls her eyes every time he tells a story, flirts with other dudes when he isn't around, talks down to him, makes jokes at his expense. We asked her how the relationship was going, and she said, quote, he's fun for now. End
Oh,
quote.
man. Oh,
me-
geez. No, she's not nice enough. Did this guy say she was nice enough?
He said nice enough. I don't
Yeah,
know
no,
what he
she's
means by
not.
that.
Yeah, no, she's not.
Me and several other friends have been trying to make sure he knows their relationship isn't that serious, but he won't listen.
No.
Do we let him get crushed sooner or later, or try to break them up now?
Well-
I would report her talking shit
That's not a bad idea.
That's not a bad
and then
idea.
show it to him.
Yeah, because if he's not listening, I mean, I've been that gaga over somebody
Yeah.
and not seen their faults.
And they are trying to, by saying it out loud, they are trying to.
Yeah, and
turn
if
our
they're-
way, right?
if you guys are telling him and trying to get him attuned
Yeah,
to what
yeah. I mean, does he
should
need
do.
like an intervention? She's not like
That's not a
harmful
bad
for
idea.
him. Yeah, but she's not like.
No, but if
you
he's
know what I
talking
mean?
about buying a ring and going
Yeah.
down that avenue and doing and all that.
Yeah, and she's I don't know, I mean, what if he gets her pregnant?
He sounds.
You know what I mean? You don't want to be attached to somebody.
Yeah, wrap that rascal.
Who doesn't have respect for you, you know what I mean? It's like,
You are.
She sounds.
you know what, it happens.
No, I'm with you.
Yeah.
She sounds like the kind of person that's in it for what she can get from him.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Or is he's Mr. Right Now?
I mean,
that's
yeah,
rough.
he's affording her certain things.
Yeah.
And even if he is, she's just like, you know, capping on him while he's not around or whatever, that's so disrespectful.
I think she probably
You know what I
really
mean?
enjoys the attention. If he's gaga over her, she's probably sitting back
Yeah.
enjoying the attention
Yeah.
without any idea of reciprocating.
So now, if he stops like, gushing over her, she's probably going to say, you don't respect me, you don't like, you don't love me, blah blah blah.
Yeah. Go out, get him a hooker, get pictures, and send them secretly to her so she breaks up with
Oh,
him.
hey.
Or I mean, I wouldn't go that far. I would just start feeding her a bunch of shit about him that would make her want to leave him. And then, but then
No, it's got to be his choice, or he's going to continue to think that she's so much.
yeah, good point.
Although that's what happens
I
in
think-
Read Noir.
I think you said earlier, Todd, about making him see, like recording the conversation, making him see who she really is.
Yeah.
When, like, he's not
He
around.
needs to see what she's like when he's not
They
around.
can make a bunch of cat guy.
Yeah.
Little dog.
Yeah.
They play with Krampus.
I mean, there are people on social media who will like do stuff like this where they will catch somebody in a lie or just showing their true colors while the person's not around.
What was that show years ago? Was it Cheaters?
Yeah,
Where
Cheaters.
they hired the film crew would rush in and embarrass the fuck out of some dude.
I used to love watching that show. It was so.
It's like Jerry Springer on the streets.
But on steroids.
It was-
That's dangerous.
It is dangerous.
It's like Jerry Springer meets cops. Is what it was.
That's exactly right.
Yeah. They don't really have any jurisdictional. You know what I mean?
It's
It's
like-
like, yeah.
Oh hell no!
Officer record, like,
Here they are at 10:03.
And then
Yeah,
next
macaroni.
thing, you come back from the commercial, she's breaking the front window of the car, smashing up the hood of the car. I bought you this car. My wife.
It's orange,
Oh,
right?
man.
No, I mean, you guys are doing everything you can. Do as much as you can.
But record-
Sometimes the youngs will have to learn a lesson themselves.
Record her,
Yes,
record her talking shit about him,
Yeah.
and like show it like from beginning to end. Don't edit it out. Just say hit record and just have it sitting there, and have her, maybe not prompt her to talk about it, but if it's coming up in conversation, hit record, and then don't stop recording until she's done talking
Hey, I
shit.
guess you could ask her without him around. It's like, hey, how's it going with you guys? Are you working towards a future
Yeah,
together?
are you as serious about him as he is?
Yeah, and then you could record that or
Yeah.
something. And just say, dude.
I wouldn't let her know you're recording them.
No.
Because then she'll put on a face and then
Yeah.
she'll be like, oh, I love you. I
No,
love
it
you."
wouldn't always be appropriate to play something like that for this guy, but it would be nice to have that in case he was like, no, there's no way. She would never say such
Well,
a thing.
if
I'm
she's
like,
flirting
well,
with
she
other
did.
dudes.
Here's how we know.
If she's flirting with other dudes, she's probably also going farther than that.
Yeah, it ain't cool, man. It's just his cruising.
Yeah.
Unless everybody's
She's
in on it,
using
it's
him.
like
She's
an agreed
using-
upon,
She's using him for food or other monetary
well,
gain.
whatever, just to be adored, right? Everybody likes to be adored. I mean, it does get exhausting.
My cat.
I wouldn't know
My
anything-
cats are they're the recipients of my adoration.
I wouldn't know anything about people adoring me like that. I've never had anybody like fawning over me. Ever.
Well, the night is young.
Dude, I'm 53 years old and it hasn't happened yet. It's not
Anything
going
gets
to
out
happen.
I think the only one I can think of, I dated my sister hooked me up with a friend of hers, very nice, charming young lady. And we spent a weekend together, and all of a sudden she was talking about, like, oh, I can come up, after work and, cook you dinner and, and it's like we've known each other for like 36 hours, and you're talking about coming over and like making dinner and being here when I get home and all this stuff. I'm like, you gotta slow your roll, girl.
Yeah,
I need to know if I like you.
Yeah. I mean, this is, 36 hours? I'm charming.
that person's way too codependent. Man.
Yeah, I don't
Or
know.
something, or who knows?
Or
It's
she
just
might
the
be.
afterglow.
Yeah.
Just, right,
Yes,
that's
that's
great.
what it was.
That's just real, of course that's what it was.
The thing
The
is,
afterglow, bro. It's like,
the thing is codependent people are very needy, so.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. I don't know. All right, we good?
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
mean, honestly, just,
keep trying.
keep trying to tell them, let them know. I mean, if you can get a video of her being disrespectful about him, I would absolutely do that.
Yeah. And get your friend group. I mean, if you have to do an intervention, if that's
kind of,
what
if it
takes.
is, I honestly warranted,
Yeah.
right? It's like, because he's an adult, he's in his
Yeah.
late 20s,
Yeah.
right? But yeah,
Yeah.
emotions are difficult, man. And,
I mean-
love's intoxicating, or
Yes.
whatever that is. It's
Yes.
like, and we don't see it straight, so be gentle with him, right? Because that's a glorious thing to behold, right?
Yeah.
But,
And life's too
Yeah.
short to be
it ain't all Romeo and Juliet.
in crappy relationships. So
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
you may not need to do an intervention. I mean, if he's in his
Yeah.
20s, he's still learning.
Well, and as long as he's not going to impregnate this lady, right?
Yeah,
Nothing
yeah,
worse
don't.
Because they're not right? She's not into it, right? So,
Yeah.
that'll be a bad-
rascal.
Unless she's trying to trap him, yeah. Yeah, vasectomy is a good way to prevent that kind of thing.
7-Eleven.
Is that what that was?
Yeah.
Can you get a Slurpee to hold on?
The hot dog machine was like. Totally. I don't know, man.
All right. Good luck to you.
Yes.
Good luck to you all. Let's see, where am I? Oh, here we go.
Yes, and adoration, wait just one second. Adoration for others can be definitely beneficial to the person doing the adoring and the adorer. But at the cost of your own self-esteem and self-respect and that kind of stuff, then it's not real anyway, right?
Right.
No God would ask such a thing,
Yeah.
so no human should ask such a thing, right? To give all of yourself is an adoration.
Yeah.
Well,
I was actually having a conversation the other day about like being neurodivergent and finding people that are into you. It's like a lot of times being a neurodivergent person, we don't know someone's flirting with us. Absolutely clueless. You would actually have to say, I am flirting with you. I like you. And be so that direct with someone who's neurodivergent, because otherwise they're just thinking they're being nice.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Hey, I just figured they're being really cool, I don't know that they're into me. And I've had that happen a number of times, like, really, that person likes me? Yeah.
Well, just like we were talking about with the falling out of an airplane scenarios or whatever, it's like, just say, hey, is it time to be making out? It's right now make out time. Is that what this is, or is that coming later? Is that not happening?
Yeah.
Is there a feature
Well,
for that?
Do I have to wait for an apocalypse?
Well, the thing is, when I was a teenager, I was like, anytime a girl would talk to me and be nice and smiley, I was like, I thought she was into me. Like,
Sure, no, that's a
no,
good
she's just being pleasant, she's being nice. That doesn't mean she's into you, dude.
one.
Oh, no, she's totally into me.
I've gone through that a million times.
And the first couple times I went to a strip club, the strippers were super cool, and they were like, oh, she's into me. I was like, no, she just wants her money, dude.
Well, she's got a character name,
Yeah.
and she's an actor.
Right.
That's what that
She's
is.
her way through college.
Yeah, sure, whatever it is.
But
right?
my-
It's an act.
But when you're 18 years old and
Yeah.
you've not been in a relationship, you do not know that the girl who's named Chastity.
Yeah.
Chastity,
You know.
as a stripper.
Diamond Chastity, I
Really?
guess. The
Diamond.
icon, get angel wings on
Me.
her.
Seriously,
It's a hit, fellas.
I was completely and totally clueless. I had no idea that was even a thing. It was an act. Like waitresses
Well,
are nice to you because they want a tip.
And you were a handsome lad. I've seen your photos. Long hair
boy.
kid.
We got to pause for a second, boys.
All right.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
It's not as clear and buttery sounding as we are when
Butter.
butter.
Who doesn't like butter?
Some commie bastard somewhere.
Some people who are lactose
Yeah,
intolerant.
exactly.
All right, are we ready to move
get
on to the next
Yes.
Oh.
Sorry,
All right.
I didn't mean to derail the
No.
conversation.
This was my favorite one, and I'm never one to yuck somebody's yum. but I'm sort of with this person. So, nerds.
Hey.
I have a new girlfriend who I like a lot. But she has a sexual foot thing where I adore her feet for her. It's fine, but most of the time I don't really want to spend my time peanut buttering her toe jam.
Oh, man.
Kind of gross. Should I end it now?
Yeah.
I mean,
If it's not what you're into,
Yeah. 'Cause
I mean,
she needs that.
if it's that much of a thing for her and she needs it all the time, then
and you can't meet her halfway. If it's
Yeah.
too much, if it's a kink that you can't share,
I would at least
then you just can't,
I would
right?
at least talk to her and say, "Look, can we like maybe cut back on the toe jam and Earl?"
I'd be fine if she went and showered or bathed her feet.
Yeah. Who's
Yeah,
doing the
there-
laundry?
I mean, tell us more on what,
yeah. We need details.
what's the needs.
There is no way I'm ever touching someone's feet if they're sweaty, ever. It's a hard no.
Yeah, if somebody's like worked all day and you take off their shoes and
And it has
stink,
that.
I'm not.
It has that Dracar Noir smell.
Yeah, vinegar and ammonia.
It's like an Old Spice. It's like a sagey Old
Yeah.
Spice.
It smells like cat.
I know, but regardless, it's not our kink, right?
No.
I mean,
But no matter what it might be, if the to me it's the incompatibility of it,
I would
and
talk-
what degree of incompatibility is it? You know,
I would talk to her. I would say, "Hey, look. I mean, I love you and all, but can we
I
kind of
didn't
chill?"
say he loves her.
Well, I'm just saying.
It does or doesn't? No, likes a lot.
Like whatever the
I'm
feeling
into you,
is.
girl.
yeah,
yeah,
and
whatever-
who knows what his kink is, right?
Whatever the feeling is, just say, "Hey, look, I like you, love you, whatever it is, but can we like maybe not do the foot thing every time?"
Yeah, I mean, and it doesn't say just or if door feeds fine. Most of the time, I really don't want. Oh, maybe it is most of the time. Don't want to really spend time peanut buttering her toe jam.
That is really gross.
And he says kind of gross, so he's not into.
He's not
it at
into
all.
it. He's not into it.
Yeah.
Unless he'd have to, like, psychologists recommended to make a pleasure out of his revulsion.
Yes,
You know what I mean? Which is,
And I think he might come
that's
to
a slippery
resent
slope or something. Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
you don't want any resentment.
Either himself or the progenitor.
Or
of
at
it,
the
right?
very least, maybe get her to do something that you like.
And he doesn't say that doesn't happen. So that's my idea, that they're able to find compatibility beyond that. But that's
Yeah.
one of her kinks and or needs, right? I don't know. To me, it's just a
Yeah.
compatibility. And there's all sorts of different types of compatibility questions in relationships anyway.
I think we
all
say
sorts
this
of
all
stuff,
the
right?
time.
This is just one of them.
It's great to be honest in any type of
yeah.
relationship,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. It's uncomfortable, but it's
Just
good.
let her know. Let her know that it's not. It doesn't do anything for you, but he's happy to do it for her.
Yeah.
But can we maybe like cut back on the amount of times we do it?
Yeah,
Yeah, and I mean,
it's a difficult thing.
I'm not sure what it is, and I know it's specifically a foot thing, but any kink, I guess this works for any kink, right?
Yeah, I mean-
like I'm not into pain at all during my
Yeah.
sexual encounters. I'm not into hot wax. I'm not into whips.
Oh, you're just
Yeah.
just being married multiple times.
I will say this.
The deep, soul crushing kind of pain.
I will say this. I've done those things, and the endorphins on that shit is amazing.
Yeah.
But it's not something I did all the time.
Yeah. No,
night's young,
I've
guys.
tried it all, but I'm not
Nice.
into it. anymore.
man.
It also depends on who's
Boy.
on the giving side of those things. If
sure.
it's someone you're into and they want to do that, and this could go with you in the foot thing. Is if you really like her to the point of like you're willing to do these things, but you want to cut back on it because it's becoming problematic for you, then yeah, say something. Look, hey, I like you, love you, whatever it is. But can we cut back on this, or maybe try some other things that doesn't involve your feet?
Yeah, talk. You can talk
Nothing
about
wrong
it.
with exploring.
But
Yeah.
just make sure that you don't make the partner feel bad about
Yeah, don't
their
do
needs
it.
or whatever, because it's just there's nothing unhealthy about that, right? It just might not be somebody's cup of tea, but
Yeah.
if that's, you know what I mean?
You
It's
gotta assess what-
But adults can talk about these things if they're already intimate.
Yeah.
Then they can be intimate in their
Yeah.
conversation.
And relationship
Right? It's
doesn't have to
okay.
be focused on just this one act, right? I mean,
No,
I
but
don't know
this
what
sounds
the
like
rest of
this
the
was-
relationship.
That's why they wrote in, right? This is the deal breaker.
This
yeah.
might be the deal
Yeah.
breaker. Back when I worked at the Great Pony Express, I was the night supervisor, and one of my dispatchers was this tall, good-looking guy, deep
Right.
voice, but just always flirting with all the girls, right?
Hey, baby.
And the Samoan gal, Moana, super sweet girl, all this stuff.
Her name was Moana?
Yeah, Moana. And every time she came in to end her shift, Michael, I don't know his last name, and a lot of Michaels out there.
Oh, yeah.
would always be flirting, like, "Hey, baby, what you doing tonight?" Just
Oh, like
deep
deep-
voice,
yeah.
just like, "Oh, when you gonna let me take you?" Hey, just all this stuff. And this is in the '90s, so get away with.
Was he
it
wearing
more.
Tricorno?
Yes, he probably was. So I'm just kind of giggling because he's always trying to be, Mr. Smooth talking,
Mr.
dude,
Mac
right?
Daddy.
And so she finally just got fed up with it one day. She goes, "Michael, I would never go out with you. You'd just be too rough." Right. And I started giggling because I thought it was funny because he would be. He'd just be like, he wants to be like Mr. Porn Star. Right.
Yeah.
So I just started giggling and she looked over at me and I looked at her and she goes, "Charles, you just be too kinky." And I started crying. I was like, "How do you know? You're fucking ain't right. How do you know me?"
Her eyes saw to my soul.
I'm like, "What do you need, baby?"
Yeah. I'm terribly accommodating.
I really am. You guys have to have that conversation.
You can. You don't have to do
Well,
shit.
you could break up
you
with
could
her.
just be miserable, or you
He
could just
did-
have a conversation.
He did say, "Should I end it now?
Yeah.
If it makes you completely uncomfortable, yes.
If
If you can't get
that's
past
what I
it,
say.
and
Yeah.
you think this is something that she's going to require
And
to
if-
get her
Yeah.
kink on,
Yeah, and say that out loud. Just so this is a bridge too far for me.
Yeah.
God bless. Go forth. Right. Let's go. And what's your sister's number?
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that.
you don't know what fetish she's got, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, for all you know,
Twins.
twins, Basil. No, for all you know, she's in the golden showers in Dookie.
Ugh, no,
But
that's
and
where I
for
draw
some
the line.
other person, maybe they can be accommodating for that.
Yeah.
Right. But for some people, they don't want to be accommodating for that. And that's why the conversation is valuable. I know everybody likes poop jokes.
When it comes to like any kind of kink, there's lots of conversations that need to be had. You need to know, safe words and that kind of stuff. You need to know these things. If it's too much, you need to say that safe word. Like if it's pineapple, then scream pineapple for fuck's sake.
Scream $7.49.
Right?
$7.49.
How about Trey Fitty? But no, seriously though, I mean, talk to her. Let her know that hey, I like you, but can we chill on that for a bit? Maybe try some other stuff. Tie me up or whatever. But let's chill on the feet.
Tie me up, tie me to toe jam. Boys, nerds.
Hey.
My great-grandfather recently died, and I was appointed to go through his house and toss junk, but keep anything important. Well, I
Man,
found
that's a rough job.
series of letters between him and another man. Reading through them quickly, at first I thought they were having a secret affair, but from what I can tell, it turns out they killed a friend of theirs way back in the 1930s when they were in their 20s and covered it up. No names or places, and it's all written in code. So he said first he thought it was an affair.
But he found a way to break the code.
I don't know. But it turns out, so maybe he's assuming they did. I don't know. Maybe they came out and said, no names or places in his all written code. Should I turn it into the police?
No.
The family all loved and adored him, and something like this would be very hurtful to them. I'm at a loss for what to do.
If it's been over 60 years, fucking leave it alone.
But there's no statute of limitations on the murder. Oh,
Well, he's
alone?
dead.
Yes.
He's dead.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
but still,
if all people involved are no longer with us, there's no fucking point.
I don't know. I kind of feel I'm like on the edge on this. I kind of feel like solving that mystery.
Closure would be good for people.
Closure would be good for the victims' people, right? Yeah.
Who was still around since 1930 that would even remember
geez.
that?
I don't know. Yeah, I guess the closure for the victim, does that outweigh the false line that these people are believing.
I'm actually
Right? Do
kind
you
of
think-
really curious about this
Yeah.
and wish that we had more. So
Let's go full. Let's call Encyclopedia Brown, boys.
yeah.
Get a hold of Bones, man.
Bones would do. Yeah, I guess if he does some research on his own, if
Yeah.
you're willing to do this and figure out maybe who
Like-
the person was,
Yeah.
and
Like
if
the
they
city
have
and
any
state and all
relatives.
that, and like
Because maybe it was an awful person.
Yeah, there,
You know what
there
I
must
mean?
be
We
like
don't know.
newspaper articles from back in the day.
Yeah.
Somebody gone missing, or
So if you know
somebody
this
ended up
person
dead.
who admits to killing this person, if you know where they were living in the 30s, you could probably like
Yeah, it
look
says-
in the local
it says
papers.
no
Maybe.
names or places.
Yeah.
Man,
I don't know. Maybe, and we don't know how much supposition this person has put into this.
yes, it could.
I don't know.
It could. Be
I don't
that
know.
they-
I get it. Because if you hand it off, there's plenty of cold cases of modern murders.
Yeah.
Right? It's like you'd almost be better handing this off, taking some of the name, I don't know, or handing it off to a journalist or somebody like that. Or I guess just doing the research yourself as best you can.
Well, you could write a
Yeah.
book about it if you.
You could,
Dude,
but you're
the
still going to
wherewithal.
implicate. Yeah, you could write a
Dude, turn it
fiction,
into
right?
Turn it into a story, man.
Yeah.
and podcast it.
Yeah, I know,
Fuck
but
yeah, dude.
but do the victims' people, the memories, et cetera, do they deserve closure more
Well,
than
kinda like Todd
this family
said,
deserves to live at peace?
I guess if there was, so if this guy, we don't know if he had whoever died, right? The supposition that somebody died, we don't know if they had kids or maybe grandnieces or nephews or something. I guess, does anybody really care anymore?
I mean,
We don't know.
I mean,
we don't have
if
enough
you
information.
were
on
to
it.
dig down and find out where this guy was living at the time of the murder of this other person, if you can figure out where that murder happened as far as where that guy was living, maybe you can look in those local papers in that area and figure out in that time period to see if there's anything that shows up as so-and-so was found murdered, blah, 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 blah.
Or somebody came up missing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come up missing.
Who knows?
I mean, piece together the details that you do
Piece
have.
together the details and then find out if there's any living family of those people involved, and then say, "Did you know about
Well,
this?"
let's
true,
just say
'cause-
there isn't. But in the name of justice, is justice more important than
This
'cause-
person is more worried about his own family.
Yeah, because
being hurtful for them. So you don't necessarily have to tell the family. You could do a little background.
Say that he
snooping.
killed Hitler,
I mean,
so that everybody's still on board.
I guess it depends.
We don't know who it was. It could have been.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as like, you don't want to hurt your family because grandpa killed somebody when he was 16 or whatever. Over 60 years ago, your grandpa is already gone.
Yeah, just
The
recently.
only people who would even care about that memory would be family, and everybody else is like, well, he's gone. It doesn't fucking matter.
Great granddad.
Great granddad.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
if it's something that you really want to know about, then figure it out. But otherwise, I would just say fucking forget about it.
Grandpa must have been 90 something when he died, or close to 100 when he died. If that's the
Killed somebody back in the Dust Bowl or something.
yeah.
I don't know. But that's a good philosophical question. I think is justice higher than I don't know.
I would
than
be
keeping your
super
family.
fascinated.
You know.
I would be super fascinated for myself to do the research. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know, I've talked about this and I haven't talked about it on the show, but I'm going to do a podcast on my grandfather's journey through World War I, because I've been able to piece together a bunch of information and found some sources that'll help me do like a 6-part series from
That's fantastic.
training camp
Yeah.
through the end of the war, and kind of just round it up with what I know of his life, because I don't know a lot about him, and nobody's alive that knew him back then, right? So I'm gonna be working on that over the spring, but
Geez, that's
I'm
fantastic.
fascinated with that, just doing the research.
We could
and stuff.
turn this into like a story that we could tell too.
What's that?
This whole idea of what this.
What the
guy-
person's saying?
Yeah.
God, I wish I had more information.
Yeah, we don't know where to start.
Where to start, but I would say for me, I would do the research, figure out. You may be way off base. It might be talking about something else, because you said it was in code.
Yeah.
The guy could have turned out to be, I think you said, we don't know. The guy could have been a complete asshole.
Oh yeah, what if he was
child
a serial
rapist
killer
or something?
a child
Yeah.
rapist or something? We don't know.
Deserved
And I'm saying,
it.
not that I'm saying citizens need to go out and assume justice onto themselves and murder people. But
It's okay for the J6 people.
Oh,
and this was a different time, right?
Yeah.
speaking of the J6, did you see that guy
Oh man.
who got pulled?
Got pardoned or
No,
whatever.
they all got pardoned, but he got pulled over and then shot and killed by the cops. Oh my God!
state.
You were just let out of jail like a few days ago, and you wanted to argue with a police officer
The whole thing is awful.
during
Dictators are
a
stupid.
traffic
America
stop.
should be better.
Oh my God, people! Oh man, I legitimately.
Because now people feel like we don't have to
You don't have
obey
to do
the
it
rule of
again.
law. There is no rule of law. You know what I mean? That's
As long
not
as your
there
guy's
now.
in power.
Yeah.
I legit don't feel bad for that guy whatsoever.
No.
He went to prison for something he did. He got pardoned because of the criminal in charge of the country, and then continued to be a dickhead to police officers. And he karma was swift
I feel bad for the cop. I mean, now the cop has to live with that.
of that death. Yeah.
Yeah, it sucks. All right. Well, do your research. Figure out. That's a tough one, guys. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, what was the question?
Killed the guy in Singapore. Should he
Yeah.
call it out to the police?
Yeah, that is
He
tough.
killed a guy
That's
in Reno just to watch him die.
Yeah, but you don't have enough facts. You don't have enough facts to really.
No.
Right.
I wouldn't tell your family. I would do your research
Yeah,
first.
First.
There's no reason to upset the family dynamic.
Because for all he knows, it's a radio play. They were writing back and forth.
Yeah,
Right. He's in code and shit that implies.
And it does say
that
they killed a friend of theirs way back. So it might not be that hard to figure out who the friend.
I guess so. Jeez.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Who's alive now? That
Yeah. That goes back that far. Nobody else in that group, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Way back then.
I don't
That's what
know.
I'm saying. With my grandfather, I found 2 books written on his unit, and it takes it all the way through the war. So I'm able to have this
Jeez, that's great.
brilliant source, firsthand source, to use for this. So I don't know.
Yeah, what was his regiment? Or his unit?
He was 91st Division, Wild West Division, out of Camp Lewis.
All right.
It was called the Wild West because they took guys from all over California, Nevada, Montana, Oregon, Washington, and they were a comprehensive unit. Went over. He was 364th Regiment and Company C.
All right.
In World War I. And what I know from my mom, the only thing I ever heard was he was an ambulance driver.
Wow. Just
Which
like
would have been
yeah.
horrific
Oh yeah.
Right?
in war.
Oh yeah.
So,
Yeah. Who's the famous author? Farewell to Arms.
Hemingway.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, he was an ambulance
Yes.
driver. Yeah. Jeez, man. So, yeah, if you can get more information, do it, but don't upset your family. Oh, it's a motor.
Until you know more, I guess.
Until you know more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, because I have my doubts that police can dedicate the time to it that they wouldn't be required to figure it out, right?
Yeah, I don't know if you showed up with these letters in code
No, it would
that
just
the police
sit somewhere.
would even
Yeah, it would just
open up an investigation because they don't.
But if you could bring them more of a, timeline or
Yeah,
names
a
or
date with some names.
something like
Yeah.
that, then maybe approach it. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no need to besmirch, somebody based on half of the facts.
Yeah, and he sounds like he was well loved, right? Didn't he say he was
Yeah.
well loved?
Yeah.
Family all loved and adored him.
Yeah.
Adoration.
So no
again.
sense sicking that shit.
No.
Not,
All right, let's move
not
on,
till you know.
guys. Let's move on. Let's see here. Nerds getting married
Man,
this
this guy
summer.
keeps emailing us, man. What the heck?
Yeah. Getting married this summer, my first, his second, and just found out my future mother-in-law, that's MIL, right?
Yep.
Just invited his ex's mother. My mother-in-law, my future mother-in-law just invited his ex's mother.
So his ex-mother-in-law.
Former ex-mother-in-law.
Yeah.
I knew they stayed friends, and I met
so,
her
yeah.
once at a function. But is it weird, 1, she invited someone without asking us first, and 2, that this woman is part of his married past?
Yes and yes.
I can understand from her perspective, the bride's perspective, that this people are going to be there. But I can also, because I remained friends with my ex-wife, I remained friends with her mom for years up until she passed away.
Yeah.
So I kind of see.
Yeah, I don't see that being bad, but you should talk. You should have talked with the bride and groom
Make
before
sure it's
you
okay
did that.
first. Yeah.
It's being too presumptuous.
If you're cool with your ex's parents, that's one thing. But if it's your new partner's parents who are still friends with your previous in-laws, that's different. That's different.
Yeah. And mother's different than having your ex. If he's got a good enough relationship, or the family has a good enough relationship with the ex-mother-in-law, then there's no reason not to invite her.
I tend to agree. If it's a big enough wedding to where that's
But-
like, if there's a total of 12 people and she's the 13th, that's a little.
Yeah, but I
if
would
there's
say
50
this
people or
to her first point: is it weird she invited someone without asking us first? Yes,
Yeah,
I would
100%.
say
Absolutely.
Yeah,
that.
it's
Yeah.
rude as fuck.
Yes.
Yeah.
Say, hey,
Especially somebody of consequence.
Just
If
come
you're
up and say,
bringing
hey,
a
Mom.
nephew because there wasn't a babysitter or whatever, you know what I mean? That's a totally different thing. But bringing a whole bag, you know what I mean?
Quick conversation could be like, hey, we're still friends with Judy, which was my ex-mother-in-law. We're still friends with Judy. We'd like her to come to the wedding because she's a good friend of ours.
Yeah.
Is that cool with you?
Yeah, if you did that, then
No problem.
No problem. That clears the whole thing
But
because then everybody's on the same page.
If you didn't clear it with, with the new husband to be, if he's not aware of it, and then his mom is like, "I'm bringing your ex's mom to your upcoming wedding," is that okay? That in itself is really weird.
I'm bringing her just to mess with you.
I mean, it sounds like something out of like a lifetime
Rom-com or
lifetime
Dynasty
movie
or something.
You know, it's like you know that something's going to get broken because someone's flipping out over some shit.
Yeah.
You know,
And obviously, the ex-mother-in-law is close enough with your family that they would want to come just celebrate.
Yeah, I would think that's the
Your
way I'm
new
viewing
husband.
it. I don't know that,
Yeah.
but that's the way I'm
Yeah.
looking at it. Yeah.
I mean, on a like, if there's no drama with her, the ex mother-in-law, then there's probably not going to be any problems.
Yeah,
but if
she
it's-
said she met her at a function one time.
Yeah.
But
So if they didn't have a bad reaction, if there's something more like you had some, or she was rude to you, or she didn't
We
feel
don't have
comfortable
any-
enough
yeah.
around or something, then maybe.
it's
But-
just not in. It's being a dick to invite somebody to your
yes,
party.
you need to clear the
100%.
guest list with the bride to
With
be
the
or the
bride.
wedding
Yes,
coordinator.
100%.
yeah,
100%.
absolutely, because it's her day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hands down. I mean, it's going to be his day too, but it's more her day than his, I think, in most cases.
And it's well worth just a quick conversation.
Is it?
Yeah.
Just at
right?
the very
It's
least,
weird.
is it okay
and
that
it
I bring
says
this
something
person?
that there was no conversation about it.
It doesn't sound like there
That's
was.
the weird part,
Yeah,
right?
that's the only thing really weird about it. I mean, assuming that the ex-mother-in-law is really cool and still friendly with the family, then there shouldn't be a problem. But the fact that they didn't
It's
ask,
Rosie O'Donnell.
dude, oh God, man.
Trying to find a way to not bring Rosie.
Hey, as long as she doesn't bring her new hip hop crew with her, I think you're good.
So good.
Have you seen that
So
video?
loud.
The Roseanne Barr thing? Yeah.
Yeah, the
It's
Roseanne-
No,
music
Rosie
video?
O'Donnell, not Roseanne Barr. Yeah, no, that's just an embarrassment.
Dude, with the
Who died?
cornrows and everything, dude. It was no.
Yeah. I will say, when I got married this last time, nice small wedding at a winery up in Woodinville, all planned out to the T. We had just enough place settings, just enough food, for the 40, 50 people that were there.
Nice.
We didn't go all out.
That's pretty
My
loud.
buddy Matt, one of my groomsmen, his date, a friend of his he was going to bring, didn't show up. So his +1 was minus. And then my brother, who said, I'm not bringing a date or anything, I'm just coming by, he brought a friend of his. Well,
there you go.
nice enough guy, like him. But if he had just showed up and Matt's +1 had showed up,
stay, yeah, then
we
you're-
would have been like, oh, fuck, we
No
got to
place to
figure out
sit,
a
got nothing.
to seat.
Yep.
We got to figure out
Yep.
place setting. We got to make accommodation.
Yeah.
Luckily, Matt's person didn't show up. But we also had place settings. Like
Yeah.
everybody knew
So now-
where to
yeah,
sit.
now what? Yeah.
So now my brother's over
I
there
know.
and his buddy's over there. And we're like, do we move? It's like, no, fuck it. Let's just have dinner and do what we need to do.
Yeah.
But I can see. I can
Yeah,
see.
it can throw things off in
Yeah.
that sense, even.
Yeah,
but it's just like, but this person wasn't just an extra, a friend or whatever. There's a certain history to it.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which could be taken a number of different ways depending on your mood, right? So it's like, no, of course, skip not talking about it was either passive aggressive or
Yeah.
something, or trying to punk the,
Yeah.
you know,
And I would say
it's not setting a good. It's not setting a good
to the bride, you
foot.
don't have to do this, but maybe make a small effort to get to know the ex-mother-in-law, because it sounds like you feel like you might be a little threatened that she's there.
Yeah.
So she
'Cause
might
she's
just
part of the
be
past or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, she might just be the most nicest, chill, great person to
Cleaver,
know.
man.
Yeah,
Maybe. Yeah.
My Judy, the ex-wife, and I don't know if the ex-wife is listening. I think she's in Vermont or. Where's she? What's the other one? New Hampshire.
Oh, New Hampshire.
One of those. She's out there somewhere.
That's where Pepperidge Farms is.
Yeah. Or Maine. She's in Maine, I
Oh.
think. But had a great relationship for like 10 years after we broke up, and then she ended up getting cancer and dying.
Gosh.
Oh, bummer.
Really sad, but she's a super nice lady. But yeah,
I guess it depends on if she's Carol Brady or
Roseanne Barr.
or Roseanne Barr. Yeah.
yeah. Make the effort to get to know
Connor.
her and be
Roseanne
nice.
Connor.
Be nice. Be nice.
Yeah.
Be nice. All right, moving on,
Hey.
guys. Nerds. I have a friend. That's great.
Don't we all?
I have a friend. We were best friends in high school, and we remain pretty close, but I wouldn't say she's my best friend. She had a kid last year, which is great, and told me I didn't ask for it. Which is great, and she told me without me asking for it that I would be the kid's godmother. And I
Like
reluctantly.
legally speaking? I guess
is
so.
there a legal?
It is, yeah.
a legal
I think in some
definition?
places anyway, yeah.
Because I'm somebody's godfather. And
Oh, no.
I don't know what my responsibilities are.
You need to get their kidneys.
I think when it comes to
Time to harvest, little one.
godparents are the ones who become guardians if the parents ever
If something
die.
bad happens, yeah.
Yeah. Supposed to step up, but I didn't know that was illegal.
Oh, no, you're committed.
No, geez. Oh, my God.
don't know.
How many kids do I now have? So this woman just appointed her godmother without
Oh.
talking to her about it first, is what it sounds like. But I reluctantly accepted. So you accepted the responsibility. I'm not really godmother material, but whatever. You're taking this very callously. I don't think she had anyone else. The kid's first birthday party is coming up, and I have other plans. She is giving me, I guess the mother is giving me a really hard time about being there, saying, quote, the godmother has to be there. I'm not willing to give up my plans, a concert with my favorite band, for cheap pizza and bad store-bought cake. Am I wrong?
Man.
Okay, so what I'm gathering is this woman accepted being the godmother.
Yeah, but that.
And the first birthday's coming up, and the mother is like, you got to be there. You're the godmother. And she's like, no, I got other plans.
yeah, and I don't gotta be there.
I don't
No,
gotta
Not my
you
kid.
don't gotta be there.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
That's not how godparents work, man.
Yeah, I am a little concerned just sort of reading this that you reluctantly accepted. If you didn't want the responsibility, you should have told her up front.
Yeah.
I don't want to.
You know, I think you're right on
No,
that.
this is kind of like the earlier advice thing about the guy who liked the girl more than the girl liked the guy,
Yeah.
right? It's like this friend is kind of glomming onto this person,
Yeah.
and this person's not really wants to spend the bandwidth to do it, right?
Yeah,
And it's
don't
like,
be pressured into something like that, especially
yeah,
if
it
you're
involves the
right that
kid,
it's
'cause then
like,
it can be
yes.
weird. All of a sudden, it's going to be weird.
Yeah. Yeah,
And she abandoned you. It's like it's not my kid.
yeah. But it's not wrong. If you got a concert to go to, say, hey,
Yeah.
I can't make it. I'm
Unless
sorry.
it's a shitty band.
Oh, I don't know what
The
the band
Shitty
is.
Beatles.
It's her favorite band.
Well.
It's like Dave Matthews or something. But I get it. I mean, I would try to make a little bit of an effort, maybe deliver a present spend a little time with the kid.
Yeah, something like
Because
that.
you're the godmother, you
Yeah.
accepted it.
But also at 1, that kid's not even aware of what is happening.
no,
It's like sweet
yes.
thing.
That's true. I didn't even
Bright
think about that.
Sweet
it's the
thing.
first
Bright
birthday.
light- no, it's a poop tube.
Dude, they're not gonna
1-year-olds,
remember.
No, they ain't even teething. They ain't doing nothing.
It sounds like they wanted them to be the godparents, so they had someone to babysit for them. When
Maybe they
maybe.
didn't say that's, but that's of course one of my.
I mean,
and just so you got leverage on somebody. Yeah, but you're the godmother. Just like using that as leverage,
Guilt.
which is weird.
Yes,
Yeah.
but don't accept it. She even says, "I'm not really godmother material, but whatever."
Yeah.
You don't accept being a godparent if you're not going to.
Yeah,
be that. I'm not
Don't-
picking
yeah,
on
yeah.
you, but
honestly, if you're that indifferent on it, don't answer the phone when that person calls.
Yes.
Seriously.
Well, I would say again, just have the conversation. Just go, look, this is going to sound like I'm mad at you or something, but I'm not. But godparent to me means this.
Yeah.
and this is
That's not a bad
and this is what it's going to take, right?
Yeah.
If not, then you're going to have to. And luckily, we discussed this so early on in this beautiful child's life.
yes,
right.
That you have time to find somebody else.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. It's like that kid
Find
won't
someone
remember
who
me,
wants
dude.
to do it.
Yeah.
But you know how you really make kids remember you? You fart. Because that smell sticks to them. It imprints. It's like a goose in its mouth.
They do say the best memory.
Yeah, it's olfactory. It's a fact.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's, I know.
I mean,
I've got like great uncles I met once. I'm like, oh, that guy.
Oh, it smelled like
For me,
3-day old.
Egg salad.
if it's a core memory, it's attached to music
Oh.
or scent.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
All right, you're not wrong. Go to your concert, have a good time, be
Yeah.
an adult. The kid's not going to remember.
No, have a
1-year-old.
conversation, though, and get out of
Yeah,
this pickle.
Get out of
Yeah.
this
Because this
pickle.
isn't the last.
You're never gonna hear the end of it if you don't. Yeah.
And make your own boundaries. It's cool.
It-
It's only a
Absolutely make
conversation.
boundaries, yes.
And if they get weird or so weird about it, then sooner out better.
Yes.
Right, the sooner the better. Get
Yeah.
the fucking make distance.
Totally.
Right,
Totally.
Because just having that conversation and making boundaries.
Yeah.
If you're not married, you're not committed. That's not your baby.
That's not.
right. That's a person who needs somebody, but you don't have to be that somebody.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and don't let somebody don't feel like you're pressured into
Guilted
doing
into
stuff.
shit,
Guilt into
yeah.
stuff.
I know,
With
it happens
family
all
and
the
friends.
time.
I don't
and stuff
even
like
let
that.
family guilt me into shit just because I hate being guilted into stuff.
I'm a sucker for old people, dude, all the time.
I
You
don't
lift
mind.
this heavy object for no real reason.
I have no problems helping friends of mine if they legit want help.
Yeah.
But if they're trying to guilt me into doing something, I will
Then-
absolutely
yeah.
go tell you to go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
And
I
are
will
they
not
your
fall-
friends if they're guilting you
trying
into
to guilt you
something,
into
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm usually pretty generous with my time and stuff.
Yeah, same.
But yeah, if you try to make me feel bad about it,
Yeah.
Yeah, if I can't do it for whatever reason, you're
Suck
going to
an
make me
egg.
feel bad, I'm going to be like, yeah, lose my number, dude. Bye.
suck an egg. It's $7.49 for a dozen of them.
Ah,
Oh, nerds! Nerds. I have a work buddy, kind of a loudmouth bragger. That's my favorite kind.
Oh, yeah.
We both love foosball, football, and recently he sort of pressured me into a bet for a case of microbrews and a fifth of some good expensive whiskey. All told, like a $60 to $70 bet.
Oh.
I didn't want to, as I didn't care to, but with all the goading, I sarcastically agreed to it. I should have made it clear I don't bet on football and told him absolutely no. Yes, I'm thinking that you probably should have.
Yeah.
I admit I didn't make it clear, and now I wish I had because my team lost, and I don't have any extra money to go buy this crap for him. I dread going to work every day because he razzes me for not paying up. He said he didn't want to see me. He said he didn't want to see me welch on the bet. I don't know what to do. I really
Well, I
don't.
would write out a literal IOU. Hand it to
Yes.
him, say, you know what I mean?
As soon as I can.
Yeah.
I really don't feel like I owe him. There were a couple of other guys there. One thinks I didn't really agree to it. The other thinks I did by not saying no way. Should I tell him to F off and not pay?
Yeah.
Explain
Absolutely.
that it really wasn't something I agreed to or just pay up?
No, don't give him anything. Fuck him.
Yeah, I mean, I've been in situations where people are like, "Come on, you can do it." It's just that peer pressure, and you just don't want to,
Yeah.
say.
Yeah.
But I mean, something like that.
yeah.
If it's going to cost you $60, you should
No.
have made it fucking clear.
Yeah,
no,
I
I'm
mean,
not into it, dude.
And
Agreed,
Even
agreed.
still, if this is just a work person that you know. You're not friends. You're workmates.
yeah,
Fuck that guy.
yeah,
And talk to your boss if he gives you a bunch of shit.
yeah.
Go to HR.
Yeah, and I would revisit the conversation with the guy.
Yes, that's your first step.
You know, and say, now, what exactly got said so everybody agrees that those were the words used, right? And then go from there. It's like,
Yeah.
and just say, dude, quit fucking with me. I'll get it to you when I can. Yeah, we both work the same spot. I'm not making any more money than you are, bro.
Yeah.
Right? So you got to give it a minute.
Well, his mistake was not making it clear, but I'm sort of with Todd. It's like, fuck it,
Yeah.
I'm not a bet.
Yeah.
Well, I don't make bets.
Yeah.
I don't make bets,
No.
especially that I
Yeah,
can't.
seriously,
pay up
go
on,
to HR
but-
if he doesn't if he doesn't leave you alone about it.
Yeah.
Go to HR.
Yeah, you're not supposed to be gambling at work anyway.
I mean, if it was off the clock, that's one thing. But
Yeah.
if he's bugging you at work, that's where it becomes a
But
work
that's true
problem.
also. Yeah, no, that's true.
Yeah.
I mean, what was it again? It was a case of
Microbrew.
and a fifth of some good expensive whiskey.
Yeah,
I mean, you could bring
$60.
him one beer every month. Say, I'll bring you
Yeah.
one
Slow
beer.
down.
This is what I can
Yeah,
afford.
but then he just keeps festering with it, right? It's like,
Yeah, because this sounds like that kind of dude bro who wears a backwards baseball cap with the fucking Oakleys and all that shit. That's what I'm picturing when I hear this stuff.
Yeah.
He's not gonna leave you alone until you fucking
yeah, and that's
shut
what I
up.
would also look at it like. It's just getting out of having to deal with this fucker ever again. Just go, dude, your attitude's been so poor that here, I'm going to pay you in 2 weeks. I have signed this document that says I'm going to give you this in 2 weeks, and then never talk to me again.
Well, I mean,
Because you've been such a weird dude about this. You're fucking blown out of proportion. Like, once this deal is square, we're done, dude.
Honestly,
$60 can be a lot of money.
I
for
get him
I get it.
get him a 6-pack of PBR and some Captain Morgan and tell him to go fuck himself. That's
the
it.
cheapest shit. You can put some Mad
Oh
Dog.
yeah, I'm not gonna give him anything good. I'm gonna give him
Fortified.
give him some cheap shit and tell
It depends if this guy actually made a deal, though. He
Doesn't-
says he didn't want
it
to,
doesn't
but
fucking matter if there was a verbal agreement or whatever. It's a bullshit bet. It doesn't fucking matter. It's not legally binding anyway.
No, but a person, if you say yes to something, you say yes to something.
The guy's
right?
harassing him every day at
Yeah,
work.
no, that's
Fuck
shitty.
that.
Yeah,
no.
no, I agree. But that's why I think $60 to end that relationship is pretty cheap.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like now you don't. Now you know what this guy's about.
I
You
would
can just tell him to fuck
I would
off.
just go to
Work,
HR and say
buddy.
this guy's harassing me about some stupid bet he wanted that I didn't, and he won't leave me alone.
Yeah.
Go talk to him.
To me, it depends on if this person said yes to the bet
Yeah.
and goes, well, I shouldn't have said that, or go, said, yeah, whatever, or it just depends on how the conversation went. I wasn't there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And it does say that he went and talked to the couple other guys that were there.
And one says yes and one says no.
Yeah, it sucks.
So what the
'cause
fuck
one
is
says
that?
I
Yeah.
think I didn't really agree to it, and the other thinks I did. I mean, that could be like the loudmouth.
I don't know. I think a person's word is important. right.
I don't think I would ever welch on a bet, but I would never have agreed to the bet.
I would
in the first
have. I would have been like, no, dude, no, and he's like, oh, come on. So I would still say no.
Yeah.
And,
Just keep saying no.
And
And then finally say, fucking leave me alone. I'm done with this conversation.
yeah.
don't ask me to go anywhere with you ever again because I'm done
pushy
talking
people.
to you. Yeah, I will not. I will not bend over backwards for people like that ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ever.
But now he also knows, I would just use it. I would pay the dude off and then use that as leverage to end the
Yeah.
just to end the relationship.
done.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just be done.
Then be done with the guy.
Because that way you never have to loan
That's
him
like-
money. You never have to talk about money. You never have to talk about nothing with that guy.
Yeah.
And this is something too. I know he's a loudmouth and he's goading you and he's doing all these things. You need to stand up and put your foot down and say no. I said no. I meant no. Leave it a fucking alone.
Yeah, there you go. Well, if that really happened and he did say no,
No. That's what I'm saying. He should
Yeah,
do
yeah.
in the future.
Oh,
You've got
sure.
to make it clear.
Yeah. If somebody
you
tries to
can't
push me
sort of
into
be like,
something,
well,
yeah. Yeah.
He says I sarcastically agreed to it. It was like, okay, you know. I mean, if it's obvious.
I don't think it's binding at all. I mean,
Oh,
someone goes,
nothing
okay,
binding, yeah.
whatever.
But we weren't there,
Yeah.
so we don't
Yeah, but
really know
we're going
how
by what
that
he-
conversation.
We're going by what he says
Yeah,
there.
yeah,
I
yeah.
sarcastically
And it sounds
said,
like
But what
okay.
does that? Yeah.
It sounds like there's two guys that say no, he didn't do it, and there's two guys that say yes, he absolutely agreed to the bet.
Yeah.
So it's like okay,
I
it's a
think the
fucking
guys.
stalemate.
I think the guys who say yes, he did say it, are going to be the ones who also help drink the beer.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. So no.
Huh.
Or they're closer buddies than.
Yeah, I would say no.
Yeah,
I would. I don't. Honestly, when it comes to something like this, if someone is pressuring me, trying to guilt me into something, I'm gonna fucking tell them to
I
kick rocks.
absolutely
Not
hate
gonna.
people
I'm
that
not gonna.
like
I don't
that.
care what
Yeah, it's so annoying.
if it's a gentleman's bet or whatever. Bullshit. That's. I didn't agree to. I didn't honestly agree to that. So no, I'm not giving you anything.
Yeah.
Fuck off. No.
But I think that needs to be a conversation first
I don't think
between
so.
the two. Oh, all right.
I don't think so. When someone who's being that belligerent about it.
Yeah, if the
No.
guy's bullying him,
Yeah,
that's
no.
just
Well, we
that's
haven't
just
heard that. That
Well,
word
no, he
wasn't
says he
used. Yeah.
pesters. What did
Oh,
he say?
there
He
you go.
razzes me for not paying up.
Oh, yeah.
He dreads going to work every day
Yeah.
because the guy razzes. That's bullying.
That's bullying.
Yeah, no, yeah. So yeah, no. At that point, yeah,
Yeah,
they need to bring somebody else into it.
Yeah, talk to HR, man.
Yeah.
yeah. And it sounds like you guys aren't going to be friends going forward anyway.
Well,
Because
it
the
wouldn't be
guy's
worth
going
it
to be
'cause the
like,
guy's a
well,
dick.
yeah,
If the
you
guy
welched
can't-
on your
it's-
bed,
yeah.
and this guy's pissed
Yeah.
because he's razzing him. You're not going to be friends after this. Or maybe you,
sure
are.
shouldn't
I
be.
don't know, but you
No.
shouldn't be.
But
would.
you're going to be at a disadvantage in setting boundaries
Yeah.
if there's doubt, amongst your peers and in the whole scheme of things. If you went back on your word,
Yeah.
right. If you make sure in a positive sense that you didn't go back on your word, you know what I mean? Then
And
you
if
just
you're
have a
gonna-
better standing to make those boundaries.
Be careful out there, guys. And if you're going to make a bet like that, even if you're the guy that's trying to push the bet, get it in writing and make so everybody sign it. And then then there's no.
Well, there's that too.
He
Yeah,
said, she
yeah,
said,
yeah,
he said,
I
he said.
agree with
that.
I don't know, but you don't be a bully.
No,
And
the guy's a dick.
make
There's no doubt
clear
about
your
that.
boundaries.
But yeah.
Make clear your boundaries.
Yeah.
But at work, it's not like they just, or whatever. It's like,
Yeah.
I think the best way to quash that is by just paying it off and telling them to fuck up.
Yeah.
First, to have the conversation, say, now, what did you hear?
I,
Right? And go through that. And then if you go, if you said yes, if you made a yes to the bet, then you got to pay it off.
Well, and it sounds like the guy's already been razzing him, so
Yeah.
this guy's not going to let up on it.
yeah, I think if you give this asshole money, he will do it again.
Do what, though?
Bully you into doing this bet and then giving you shit for not paying him back.
Well, I
If
would,
you- if you
I
were
would
coerced
never
into-
hang out with this guy again.
I was like,
Is
if
the
you're
thing that would be
coerced-
the payoff would be the end of the relationship.
Your word doesn't mean shit to this asshole, though. Is the thing. You're assuming the guy who's demanding to be paid is honorable. It doesn't sound like he's honorable at all to me. So he doesn't deserve anything from me, as far as I'm concerned. He can kick rocks. I don't care. I don't care what anybody else thinks about me, because this guy was being a dick to me because he wanted to do a bet I wasn't into.
Some shit happening in Ren.
Bummer.
Yeah. No, I think that's a dishonest person to start with, and I don't have to be honorable to them.
Well, geez, it depends. If they just invented the fact that you lost a bet, that's one thing. But the guy admits to.
Well, he coerced him into doing it, though. I mean,
To some degree.
He got talked into doing it.
He got
and he's
talked
like, yeah,
into
whatever.
it. Coerce is a. You know what I mean? I don't think he got waterboarded for $60.
Well, I'm just saying,
but-
he
I get it because fucking pushy people are pushy people. I get it.
I've been sarcastic, not in a bet scenario, but I've been sarcastic when somebody's pestering me like that. I've been like, oh, okay, whatever you say, just be
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
fucking shut
yeah.
up. Just, I'm done,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just to
not on a
appease or
bet,
whatever.
though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would have made it clear. It's like, dude, I don't bet.
Yeah.
My wife won't let me.
Yeah, that's a great one though.
Yeah.
It's perfect. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
My wife gives me such a little allowance that I don't have any.
It just doesn't matter. You just say, I'm not going to
Yeah,
piss
I'm not
off my
doing
old
it.
lady for you, dude.
Yeah,
Are you
yeah.
nuts? I have to fucking...
Yeah, I got to sleep with her.
That's where I live,
That's where
dummy.
I'd like to
Yeah.
sleep with her.
If you're gonna do a gentleman's bet with a dickhead like that, you have to do the Trading Places bet, which is $1.
Yeah. I mean, if you're going to
Something
bet on
like that,
something,
yeah,
do that.
yeah,
do
yeah,
$1.
yeah.
Do a
Yeah, but
something
in
simple.
this case,
can
man,
of Coke
it
or
doesn't.
something.
The amount doesn't matter. The only thing that matters to me is if he said yes. It's just like if you were in a court of law and you said something, you said yes sarcastically, it's still yes.
Except for it's not
You
in
know
a
what I-
court of law. It's
No, but
at a
it's-
fucking bar.
Yeah, or
and
wherever
the
they
guy's
were,
being
yeah.
a belligerent
Yeah.
asshole. So no,
Yeah.
it doesn't fucking matter.
Well, we know that the guy, the
I
belligerent.
guess if you were
Agreed or not.
intoxicated, I guess you could say, dude, I was
It
drunk.
don't matter.
Well, and we know the bully doesn't deserve it.
He doesn't.
Yeah, but to me, that's not the issue. To me personally, that's not the issue.
Would you pay it
Yeah.
up if you
I
just
would,
put
and, then,
yourself?
and I would say,
And then end it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. 100%.
I mean, I probably would
And that
too
way, I'm
because
clear,
I have.
and I
to-
would do it either publicly or through HR.
Yeah.
Right.
So
because it's
yeah,
he's a what,
that would
dude?
be fun to go to HR
Yeah.
and say, I want this guy off my
The
back.
bet. Yep. This was the bet. You take care
Here's
of
the
this,
bet.
and or just have him in there so that everybody's agreed.
But the thing
Right?
too is that I could come up with the $60 to buy the stupid microbrew and stuff like that. This guy might be struggling. I don't know. This might be
Yeah.
a
No.
McDonald's.
And I know. You know.
He might be
I've
working
been in that
minimum
place
wage
myself a lot. Yeah.
And coming up with that $60, that could be his whole grocery.
But then
money.
dreading going to work is not going to
the
help,
week.
dude.
No.
He needs to find a way to get this guy
He
off
does
his
need to
back.
get him off his back.
And whether or not that involves
HR.
HR,
Yeah.
right? It
Yeah.
could. And just
I
go,
agree.
look, this is what happened. It was off work.
I need him
But
to
we
stop.
do work together.
Yeah.
This is the stress that's come about because of it.
It's affecting my job.
So can we set up a agreeable between all of us, either a payment plan or some understanding, or that's the place to argue that you didn't make the deal.
Yeah.
And this is why.
Yeah,
You were
and he
on,
can
on
bring
your
that
12th
up.
fucking beer. It's like, yeah, there's no way that you can hold me to that, dude. Are you nuts?
Yeah.
It's like I was
Yeah.
12 beers in.
Or
I was
whatever.
talking to somebody over here in the first place. I was just trying to get you to
You
fucking
wouldn't
knock it
shut
off.
the fuck
Yeah.
up about
Yeah.
it. And then
But
the HR
they need to
like-
have that conversation. And since it is work that's, he's not calling him at home, we don't hear. He's getting in
maybe,
trouble at
Maybe
work.
mention it.
Yeah.
It's like, let's go to HR.
Let's go to
we'll
HR
hash
and
this
get this
out. And
squashed
maybe
out.
the guy will be like, no, it's
Yeah.
fine. Fuck it. You're a Welcher. Well, fine. Don't ever talk to me again.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't care if someone thinks I'm a Welcher. I'm not going to be bullied into giving them anything.
I don't
Yeah, but I don't necessarily, if you had agreed to it,
It doesn't matter.
I don't know.
It really doesn't matter. Let's move on.
We're moving on.
moving on. Nerd.
Nerds. This is the last one, by the way, for
Uh-oh.
advice tonight. Nerds. I like this one. My wife pointed out a woman with a ridiculously nice posterior.
And that's Padonkadonk for the kids.
So I stupidly took a picture of it
No, he did.
without the girl noticing. She did have a great butt. The wife got mad and told me to erase it, but she's the one who told me about it. Every day she asks if I have deleted it, but I refuse.
Oh my God.
Should I get rid of it? You are an idiot.
Is that the hill you want to die on, dude? Really? Really? You know, there's this thing on the internet called porn?
Yeah,
It's
I mean,
like,
first-
Jesus Christ, dude, are you nuts?
First, do not take
Yeah.
random women's picture
Ever.
of their
never,
ass.
Never.
For
Yeah, never, ever.
And you did it in front of your wife.
Yeah. Oh,
you have
man.
a cool wife.
And then
well, hold on. You have a super cool wife that pointed out a nice posterior.
Or she's
we're
playing
all
chess.
human,
She could be playing chess,
I
bro.
don't know.
It's hard to say. We don't
But
know these
you
things.
are dumb enough to stop
Yeah.
and take a picture of
Oh
it.
my God.
First.
You were handed a bite and you took the whole cake, dude.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then you won't
And part of the cake.
You won't delete it. What
Yeah.
the
That's silly.
Dude,
Oh my
what-
God. That's silly.
What are you doing?
Oh no! If my old lady points out Padonkadonk, I just turn blind. I'll just
I
look
don't think-
directly
what?
at the sun.
What?
It's like I'm
I
not
don't
falling
see
for that.
anything. I
I'm
don't
not
see
falling for
anything.
shit. I will stare directly at the sun.
To quote
Yeah.
Star Wars, it's a trap.
I often like we're shopping or something, and I see somebody that's not quite boyfriend material, either physically or whatever. Or they're acting weird. I'll be like, "Hey, if you want to go get the number." And she just, but she does the same thing. If you want to get that guy's number, I understand, you know. But I've done it with like really like macho
Super
dudes.
dudes,
It's like, hey, I mean, I understand if you gotta
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Do you want to
get
go?
them
Yeah.
digits?
You want to shoot your shot, kid?
Shoot your
I'm
shot.
watching you do it.
Dude, I don't like calling anybody an idiot, but you're kind of an idiot.
Yeah, no, you're being a
This is
dick. You're
not-
being a dick.
this is
There's-
not-
That's not the hill you want to die on.
I think
zero
you
Yeah.
committed 3 offenses here. 1, don't take pictures of women's asses.
Ever, ever,
Just
ever. Of women in public.
in public.
They're just trying to
It's
live their
dumb.
lives,
Living
dude.
their life. Yes,
Yeah.
you probably had a great butt. It's okay to take a quick peek.
Well, keep it in your head.
and admire
yeah,
it,
man.
add it to the spank bank, whatever you got to do. 2, you took a picture of it in front of your wife.
Yeah.
Well, how did you think that was going to go
Well,
over?
yeah, yeah.
And then 3, she's saying, fucking delete it because you're an idiot
Yeah.
and you won't fucking delete
You're
it.
going to purposefully irritate this.
Yes.
Your wife? Your wife?
Yes.
Over this.
Yeah, over this. Over this.
That's one of the dumbest things I've ever heard in my life.
That's when you're like, you definitely want to keep your spouse happy because
Yes.
if your
Or-
if your
yeah.
spouse is not happy,
Yeah.
then you are not going to be
Yes.
happy.
Yeah, or at
Happy
least
wife, happy
unirritated.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Why?
Yeah.
Why?
It's not
There's
good.
nothing good coming out of that.
And
for-
Nothing good.
Nothing.
You know she's going to be asking you a bunch of questions like what? Why? Do you think her ass is nicer than mine? Do you think her pants fit her better than mine do? And she'll ask you all these
Yeah,
questions.
get
that you-
those lift ones. Can you buy some of those lift pants,
Get-
baby?
get all the questions that like you
No,
shouldn't answer because it's
man.
only going to dig you a deeper hole.
Yeah. Yeah.
So dumb.
So dumb. Do it now. Go right
In
now.
front of her, just go. I thought I was going to make a joke about it, and then it just kind of got out of hand.
Yes.
And so I
Yes.
apologize. It was
Fire
supposed to
dinner.
be funny. It wasn't funny. I apologize. Delete.
Okay.
And then go to Pornhub.
If this guy has an Android phone or even if it's an iPhone, your phones will back up photos. Delete it from your phone. It's still on the cloud.
Oh my God, that's
jeez.
awesome. But still, he should. If he does that, then he doesn't actually get to where he's kind of being a dick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Go
But
get your
that
wife.
is good to have that insurance.
Go get your wife her favorite heavy perfume.
Yeah. Suffer a little bit.
Tell her to spray
No,
it and
I
then
don't think he
stay in the
necessarily-
room as punishment.
Yeah, I don't know if he needs to suffer anything, but he needs to give her
I don't
a little bit of a boost,
Yeah.
right?
We're gonna send Mike over to shimmy his little butt in front of
yeah,
so
yeah.
Your wife can take all the
Take some
pictures she
photos of-
wants.
Yeah, oh boy.
We'll have to.
Yeah.
We'll re-edit that video of us with the little finger hand.
No, God, yeah. She can watch that all day.
So good.
It's on Facebook and YouTube, I think.
Yeah.
So go check it out. It's wonderful.
It's
You're an
also on
idiot.
Tik- It's
dude.
also on our
I
TikTok
have to
too.
say, you're kind of
Yeah.
an idiot. Boys, this was fun. If you need advice, write in.
Yeah, write in. We love
Call.
it.
There's a
Love
number,
it.
Todd. What's the number again?
206-504-3190.
Call.
good.
We should make this a regular a few
3190.
times a year because we always enjoy giving out the.
People are clamoring for it, Charles.
I think we should do this more often. I think maybe once a month we should do it.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
Bi-monthly sci-fi. What's the Bi-mon sci-fi cod?
What?
It sounds great.
Bob, weep, Grana, weep, Diddy Bob. For you
boys.
Transformer nerds out there.
Yes. So send it in. We're happy to give you advice. I think we did pretty good tonight. I think
Yeah.
we
Yeah, no, that's
handed
delightful.
out some solid advice.
Yeah.
There
Talk
was
to
like,
each other, people. That's the
eight,
what I'm leaving you with.
8 different ones, something like that.
Jeez, that's a lot of work. People don't.
Yes, call in.
Some heavy lifting.
Send us an email. We're happy to hear from you. Boys, sharing is caring. What do you guys got new this week? What's been happening?
I watched the first 2 episodes of the new Spider-Man series on Disney Plus.
Oh, I keep forgetting that.
It came out yesterday. So it wasn't bad. I mean, it has that old like 40s era like artwork to it, and so it looks like the like old school Peter Parker. But instead of wearing the old school like Spider-Man outfit, he's wearing like a hockey jersey with the spider on it and like sweats and like a his.
Is he part of the Spider-Verse, or is this standalone?
I don't know if it's part of like the MCU or not. I haven't seen anything saying it was, but I did see a video talking about how the actor who's playing Peter Parker is like said something along the lines of glad it's not a woke thing and blah 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 blah. I'm like, okay, that's not making me want to watch the show. So,
Well, just to bring that up is dumb.
yeah, like
It's so weird, but that's just a line in the sand, dude.
I know.
Yeah. It's so they can attack people of color mostly.
Yeah.
Right? The whole DEI thing is just like how to make
Yes.
people of color uncomfortable in the workplace.
Yeah.
That's all that is, dude. It's like, it's so grotesque.
It's-
It is so grotesque.
The worst.
And
Yeah. Donald Trump is anti-Christ.
Yeah.
Donald Trump is anti-Christ. Not the antichrist or anything weird, but the teachings of the Christ are the reverse of the actions of these people. The absolute reverse. It is awful human behavior. We gotta nip it in the bud, people. I'm telling
I
you.
do think that people are going to watch it and have a problem because the Osborne family are African American.
Oh my God, they replaced it all.
Oh, yeah. Well, and that's why, especially in comic books, anyway, for any of it, like Robert Downey Jr. now being Doom or whatever, it's like they've already introduced the multiverse multiple times.
Yeah.
It's like all of these things can be simultaneously true. That's the whole
And
beauty of taking
it's not
that
replacing
angle.
anything. It's just
Yeah.
another story. So that's kind of how I look at
Yes.
any of those things.
It's so
It's
that's
dumb to worry about it.
in any form, anyway,
Yeah.
and just to say that the way that I remember it is the only way that's good.
Yeah, they're ruining my childhood by casting black actors in a role that really makes no difference whether they're black, white, Asian, what.
Anyway, and then go back and read those comic books.
Yeah.
Nobody took those from you.
And
Go
nobody
watch the
says
original,
You have
yeah.
to watch.
So it end by just the idea that my way or the highway.
Yeah.
In a world that most of the critics aren't actually making the product.
Yeah,
Right? It's like, so
just super glad that Mel Gibson and John Forsythe and can't remember the other one are going to be the new Hollywood ambassadors to make sure that this kind of thing stops.
I don't know who John Forsythe is, but Mel Gibson is a religious zealot.
No, didn't Donald Trump appointed Mel Gibson? It's Angelina Jolie's dad. Is
Oh,
that
John Voight.
John Voight. I'm
Oh,
sorry,
yeah.
not Forsythe. John Voight and somebody else
Oh my God!
to be the ambassadors.
And I don't know if John
Okay,
bring
so-
sanity back to
religiously,
Hollywood.
That's Peter and Harry Osborne.
Huh.
because that's a homage to the first Spider-Man cover, right?
But yeah, Harry is African American and has his hair in cornrows, and there's a little bit of like a man bun back here with
Oh my God.
an afro.
I mean, how's the storyline?
I mean, he's in high school, so it's young Peter Parker. You know, he's not working for the newspaper.
The Bugle.
He's
Jay Jonah.
he's not doing it. That hasn't been introduced yet.
No.
So we haven't seen any bad guys in the first two episodes. We meet.
Did he get his powers already?
Yes.
Oh, so he has them when you're.
First episode, he gets bit on the neck,
Oh, jeez.
which is opposed to like him getting bit on the hand or the
Radioactive
arm.
spider. Yeah, and then it was a genetically engineered spider.
I've been fucking microwaving spiders.
Yeah. Give me
For-
power.
Bite me, damn it.
Dude,
they just keep popping. I don't know.
There was a movie on the Sci-Fi Channel 20 years ago, maybe 15 years ago, of a guy who was a huge comic book nerd, and he like was working in some sort of science place, and there's these spiders are being injected with this stuff, and he goes, I want the spider to bite me so I can be like Spider-Man, and he gets bit by one of these spiders and starts mutating into a giant man spider, and he's like,
That might be okay.
and he was like that socially awkward guy who thinks he knows what's happening, but is completely wrong because he sees a girl being flirted with, and he thinks that she doesn't want the attention, but she clearly does, but he's like oblivious. And he goes, I'm trying to save you, and she's all freaking out because he's like half a spider and half human. It was
The Fly.
Yeah, it was basically like The Fly. And he was like, I'm trying to help you. And he's like, you killed my boyfriend, blah, 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 blah. Yeah.
Aw.
Yeah. I don't remember the name of that movie, though. But he injected himself with this stuff, and he started mutating into a giant spider.
It's the jab.
It's the jab.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Mikey, what about you? What's been new?
Well, double checked my ACLU subscription. I just send them money monthly, and I encourage everybody to do so. So
Yeah.
tie up the fascists in the courts as best we can. They've got the human power, the knowledge, etc., to try to figure out where to apply pressure, right, and where to take cases and that kind of thing. So send money to them, please. And I would say, either public radio or some kind of like quality media outlet. We've got Converge Media in Seattle. They're quality. You know what I mean?
What's
Some kind of
Converge?
Converge is mostly out of the Rainier Beach, South End, or whatever, but not exclusively. But they're journalists, right? And they're really doing it. So I'd find independent journalism that you know and trust and is able to get real stories and access for stories, et cetera, and do the thing and send them money.
Yeah.
Right? It's like money doesn't fix all problems, but it sure can help good people do good work, right?
Yeah.
And there's plenty of things to throw money at, but those are two things that I
your
see.
money at too.
Oh, sure, but
Tons of organizations that just use more of the money to keep the organization going than they do to
100%. Oh, yeah.
help people.
Yep.
Yeah, subscriptions are great. I mean,
Yeah, no, I think, and I don't know. I have no beef with ACLU, right?
no,
So,
no. Oh God, that's so
not really. You know what
So
I mean? It's like I don't always agree with the court system.
so woke,
But,
Mike.
oh my God, not really. They've defended the
I get
Nazis and the KKK,
Yeah.
haven't they?
Yeah.
Right? So it's like, they're not yet. I mean,
what does it stand for? American Civil
it's a thing,
Liberty.
man. Yeah, no, they're, they're all for the top 10.
The other thing that's different about this version of Spider-Man is he doesn't have, how in all the other ones, his web spinners are like these little bracelet things he has on, right? Well, this one he has like a CO2 canister on his back.
The world is ending.
Like he has like a CO2 canister on his back and has hoses that go up to these bracelets on his. But he has these fucking hoses attached to his back that go to his arms, so he can spit the.
Did he chemistry his?
Yeah, did he make that?
And he built it. Yeah, it looks like he built it out of like spare parts out of the garage.
So he's still like,
Can he just, because you said hose, can he just like total splooge, just
I mean,
say hose
but
there.
the thing is like the spinners on his wrists,
The web shooters?
the web shooters,
Whip?
They look like air hose, like
No. Yeah, like
nozzles?
a pneumatic.
like air hose nozzles.
huh.
And,
So he has to make a fist to do it.
I mean, he has the buttons.
Spider-Man is do the.
He has the buttons on his
okay.
palm like normal, but
right.
instead of having like a little tiny little thing, he has they look like the Black Widow like bracelets. They're really thick and they're like about that long, and there's like an air hose nozzle underneath it, like on the bottom of it. And you can see when he's shooting them, you can see them open and closing and stuff too.
I remember, I think it was the Amazing Spider-Man, the
Sam Raimi
Toby,
years?
the Sam Raimi years. I bought Bailey. They had these little bracelets, and you could put silly string
Yeah.
So good.
in there.
Yeah.
And I don't remember if it was like some kind of trigger mechanism. I think if he moved his wrist, it tightened a thing that collapsed the squirter. Then just you put the aerosol in there, and it was just.
Oh, yeah.
And that shit's flammable, so be careful, folks.
Oh, I did not know this.
Yeah.
Intriguing.
I've seen video of someone like shooting silly string over an open flame that was like
A birthday cake
a
or
birthday
something.
cake, and whoop.
Totally cool.
Yeah.
Oh my god, guys! I finally saw that Nick Cage movie with Pedro
Pascal?
Pascal,
That movie is great.
Unbearable.
Yeah.
The talent,
Yeah.
talent.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that was so good. I've been waiting, and I meant to rent it a long time ago, and it's finally free. I
Nice.
think
Yeah,
it's on Max.
It's on Netflix or Max. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, so good.
My favorite
I really
scene is when
enjoyed
they climbed over the wall.
Oh my God, it's so
Because they
good.
thought those guys were looking.
Yeah.
They were watching them.
Yeah.
Like they were CIA or
And
something.
he's like, he get over. He go, "Where'd you come from?" I just walked around the other side.
Yeah. But they're smiling and he's just loving each other. The actor that plays his ex-wife or his baby mama, Nick Cage's, was the lead actor, the Irish gal, in Bad Sisters, the show that we've been watching. There's 2 seasons on Apple, which is good. I was like, oh, I really like her. I can't think of her name.
That's great.
But yeah, she's
If only
really
Jeff
good. in
here
the
was
show.
here with the computer. And
Yes, Jeff. Geez, what else have we been watching? We haven't been really watching any shows, the wife and I. I found a fun little show. If you kind of like home improvement building shows, it's called Designing Outside the Lines or Building Outside the Lines. It's a guy named Cap or Cappy and his stepdaughter is like 14 to 16 during the course of the couple seasons. And they build stuff in South Dakota, but they build like stuff out of like recycled stuff. So like one episode, they built a big treehouse deck. Like they got these old oil rig metal beams and built this deck on top, like 15 feet in the air. And then they hoisted up this really cool old retro 60s RV trailer for this guy to have a little place to crash on this piece of property when he goes up there. Really cool. Or they took like a cement truck mixer, the concrete mixer in the back, and they flipped it up, opened it up, cut all the fins out of it that mix the cement, and they made like a playhouse for these kids to go in.
Jeez, that's heavy duty stuff.
Fun little stuff. And I don't even know when the series came out. It might have been a few years ago, but that was on Max. And
That's neat.
Building Outside the Lines, I think, is what it's called. So, but look it up. Cappy and his daughter. And they're just fun to watch because he involves her and all the design stuff and stuff like that.
In architecture, it can be art.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
And they really focus on that kind of stuff. So,
Yeah.
The other show that it's only like not even 5 episodes into the new series, but it's a Tim Allen show. I talked about it last week. Kat Denning plays his daughter.
I like Kat Denning.
And I honestly, it's like the only reason why I would continue watching is because I like her. But he is playing kind of the old like boomer parent, elder
Little MAGA, a little
elder
conservative.
Gen X maybe, and a little alt-right kind of leaning almost, but and she's very not. And this last episode last night that I watched is probably going to be the thing that keeps me watching the shows because she's left-leaning, he's right-leaning, and he's kind of stuck in his ways. She talks him into going to see a therapist, and because of him going to therapy, it opens up some dialogue between the two of them talking about his ex-wife and her mom who had passed away a few years ago before the show started. And you see like some things happening there between someone who's kind of like, just pull up by your bootstraps and blah, 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 blah. And she's like, yeah, it's not how it works, Dad, kind of thing. Okay, boomer kind of thing. It's a funny dynamic, but that moment where they're talking about like her mom and his ex-wife was really touching. I thought I really liked that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, I'm not. I like Tim Allen in doses and small stuff. Like Buzz Lightyear is great. What was the other thing he did? I really like the fake Star Trek movie.
Galaxy Quest.
Galaxy
Oh,
Quest.
yeah,
Dude,
and
they
that
really
was a
like that.
great role for him.
They were
at that time.
They were working on his sequel right when Alan Rickman died.
Oh man.
I like that he's a cocaine trafficker.
Yeah, he used to be.
Good on you, kid.
Yeah. He did time for that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
I
think so.
understand.
Now all of a
Yeah,
sudden he's a
mugshot,
right winger because their idea of law and order changes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
But
really does.
I think it's worth
That's
watching.
one
And it's
step
like
on
I
the
said, it's not
black
even
man's
5 episodes in.
What is that? What is that airing on?
I can tell you here in a second.
Is that like a ABC, CBS?
It's probably ABC, to be honest, but let me find
So
out.
it is one of the network shows.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's called Shifting Gears, and it is on.
See a car guy in the thing.
Yeah, he runs a repair shop for cars. So there's always a classic
Motor
muscle
garage.
car in there. Let's see,
Garage.
it's not saying what.
Yeah, they had.
Oh, it's ABC. Yeah,
Okay.
it is ABC.
That was Pam Anderson way back in the Tool Time days.
Yeah,
Right for a while.
She was the original Tool Time girl. Yeah.
Tool Time girl, and then the guy that played his sidekick is from Seattle, right? Or
Yeah.
at least from this.
I don't
area.
think so. But, I don't think so, Tim. Yeah.
Yeah.
Al.
Ow.
But yeah, it's Tim Allen, Kat Denning, Sean William Scott,
Oh.
Stifler,
Yeah.
Daryl Mitchell, who played in the Star Trek spoof, he was the Helms kid, the one who was
The Chekhov.
the child star, the black kid.
Yeah.
Apparently, apparently in the last 10 years, he got into a motorcycle accident, so now he's in a wheelchair now. But lots of other
All right.
people I recognize but don't know their names. So
All right. Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm not totally opposed to watching it.
it's on Wednesday nights.
Good.
So Wednesday nights, I think at
I wouldn't watch it just for Tim Allen's in it.
no,
Let me
yeah,
watch it, but
I put it on because I saw Kat Denning was in it. Honestly, is the only reason why I started watching it.
Yeah.
And I figured it would be kind of funny if she's poking fun at him. So and she does quite a bit.
nice. So it's a give and take.
Yeah, oh yeah, it's not. She's not just taking it because he's her dad, and she pushes back quite a bit.
All right. Yeah, because she became a pretty, not huge star, but a big star in her own right. She had the Two Broke Girls show, and she has a few movies. She had the Marvel, the MCU stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
She had a show on Hulu too with Brenda Song, who's actually has a reoccurring role on this show too.
What was her show on?
I'm trying to remember the name of it. It is. Where is it?
Was she Nick and
Dollface.
was she Nick and Nora Infinite Playlist? Was that her or was that somebody else?
Somebody else, I think.
Oh, okay.
But Brenda's Song is probably best known for being on the big Zack and Cody
Oh, that was
sitcom
after my time.
for Disney Plus, I think.
Okay. Mike, anything else you've been doing other than giving your money away?
I've been re-listening to Tanis.
Oh, really?
I do enjoy Tanis.
Just going back to the
Yeah, just because I'm working, so.
And you mentioned that they were thinking about doing another season.
Yeah, but I haven't seen it. I should write to him and ask, I guess. I'll just say, oh, I just recently discovered your stuff, so now I'm going to review it.
When was the last season? That was a
Geez,
few
I
years
really
ago.
don't know. I would say, 2020 or something.
Yeah,
Right?
geez.
That's my guess.
It's not easy. We know.
It ain't
because
easy. Oh,
our
yeah, no, and Clymer
hot
said she
rock-
wants to be included in a cast one of these days.
Nice.
For one of our
All right.
radio plays.
Nice.
Yes.
So I have the first part of episode 3 all edited in.
Nice.
I don't know if you guys remember in that episode, they do battle with a certain desert giant scorpions.
Oh, yeah.
So I've got that whole scene edited down up into the theme song, and now they got to head to town. So,
Jeez. And
we'll work on that
what are we talking about?
we're talking about Hot Rodders of the
Oh, why, yes,
Apocalypse,
we are.
boys. Which I think we need to set a date for release. We need to talk about it because we need a couple of weeks to kind of promote it. So
Oh, sure.
I don't know if we want to say end of February or mid-February or something. We just need a date to release.
And how about March 1st?
March 1st?
That gives
Yeah,
us
works.
a little wiggle
That gives
room.
me a month.
Yeah.
Well, 20, is it leap year? It's not leap year. It gives
No.
me like 28 days.
It's always
to
leap
get
year
a couple
somewhere.
more
It
It was
episodes
leap
done.
year last year.
Yeah.
My little brother turned 6.
Oh, jeez.
Wow. That's
And
cool.
he's really,
Yeah.
Like in his mid to late 30s.
yeah. So yeah, that works. Because then, are we going to do one a week or one every other week?
I would say one every other week. That way,
Kinda stretch it out.
Give you some time to be able to kind of
Give these
finish.
people a reason to go on.
Yes.
Finish out.
I think I'll have everything edited and ready by release date.
Do you
Might be one episode.
do you only want to have it on the YouTube channel, or do you want it to also be
I
on
think
the
everywhere, right?
Okay.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have the Goodyear blimp.
Yeah, because there's no video. The only video I'm doing is
yeah.
the logo for Hot Rodders, and then I'll do the credits and stuff at the end. But yeah, anywhere,
I mean,
everywhere. Let's get it out there.
If people like it, we would absolutely love it if you did some animation for us.
That would be
Oh, gee.
friggin-tastic. I did talk to a friend of the show, Greg.
Oh, yeah.
From
Very cool. Rent Ritual.
Print Ritual, right?
Yeah.
I did talk to him a while back, and I just think he's too busy. He hasn't really been able.
He's got
to
a
do
life.
anything.
I
He's
know.
got a life, man. But yeah, we could look at some stuff. But yeah, That would be very cool. At least adding a few static pictures would be kind of cool.
We could utilize some of those AI things for making some videos or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just need a bunch of 8x10 glossies of our faces and just put them over and over and over in a slideshow.
I found on one of the apps, actually the same app I did where Mike ran away. That same app has a new.
Where Mike ran away.
Remember that picture?
Yeah.
Either way, so I was looking through the app to see if they had added anything new as far as the photo to video AI stuff. They added one that's like does like a hug, like an embrace. And I was like, I wonder if I can find an old photo of my mom and then like a more current picture of me. So I put an old photo of my mom as like a headshot, and then like a current photo of me, and put them together in this thing, and it made us hug. I was like, man, that's awesome.
Yeah, it worked pretty good.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's clearly AI.
Cool.
But it's I can show you guys.
Yeah, we know the love you have and the miss that you have of mom. So
yeah,
totally get that. That's terrific.
I don't know if it's on a replay or not, but
That's nice.
Yeah.
Oh,
just a still image of her smiling and just a picture of me.
Nice.
You know.
It's lovely.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. Oh, and then Jude's. I'm giving myself another project because I need another fucking project. I ran out to Bonnie Lake to the parents' house, and I was looking for World War I stuff for the grandfather thing. Just letters, pictures of him, whatever I could find that sort of related to that. And I found a couple of boxes of old slides. Remember the slide projector? And families would have those. They go on vacation. They put them all on slides, and then they would invite the neighbors over, and they do a slideshow.
For sure. No, I love them.
So I found this box of slides, and I'm like, oh man, these must be from way back when. Brought them home thinking they might be like grandfather type stuff. Turns out my dad was in the Navy. I already knew this, but in the late 50s, early 60s, kind of the 3 or 4 year period. And he was on a aircraft carrier that sailed South Pacific, ended up in Hong Kong and Japan before sailing back to the States. And that was kind of his whole tour over a year or 2 years or whatever. All these slides are his time on the aircraft carrier.
Wow.
So there's pictures of like the jet planes from the 50s, the flight deck. There's some that are labeled like Hong Kong or Hong Kong Bay.
Totally cool.
So I'm like, holy shit. And I'm trying to, because they're the little 35 millimeter slides, so I'm holding them up to the light. Ended up ordering on Amazon a slide to JPEG or whatever converter. So I'm going to start going through these slides and saving a digital copy of them.
Fantastic.
And I want to put together just sort of either on Flickr or somewhere where people can go on and check out his photography, because he was a photographer himself, an amateur guy, but
all throughout his Navy career as well.
His Navy career, and there's hundreds of these slides. So I'm going to put together a little tribute to him.
Geez, that's fantastic.
Through the slides and stuff. So I think
Neat.
That's cool.
Yeah, in the converting them, digitizing them is pretty easy.
My understanding, I did a lot of research. I found a tool on Amazon that wasn't, because there's some that are like $200, and I'm like, I ain't gonna commit to that. There's services that you can send them to, but I think that they just use the same thing. So it's a little box. You can do negatives. You can do all different sizes. You slide it in. It's like a light box. It projects it onto the screen.
Yeah.
You can adjust
It's basically a scanner for negatives.
Yes, so you can adjust the color, the light level, and then you just boop, and it scans it, and you can do either 5 megapixel or 10 megapixel.
I mean,
Geez, that's not terrible.
if you have a home scanner, you can probably even do it through that.
Maybe my home scanner would turn it into a really small little little scan, little JPEG.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't. So this actually has the sleeve that you drop the thing in, you put it in, amplifies it up.
Yeah,
you can
great.
make adjustments there. I can always make adjustments in Lightroom or Adobe.
Yeah,
or whatever,
but you can make better if you have 10 megapixels to work from.
Yes,
right?
yeah.
10
And depending
seems
on
like a
how
good.
clear his pictures are
Yeah,
and stuff.
yeah.
But they've been in these little racks. They just fit down in these little metal
Protect
racks,
the-
and they've been
yeah.
protected for
Yeah, that's great.
that's 60 years ago.
Fantastic.
40, 50,
What a
65
treasure.
years
What a
ago.
treasure.
So
Yeah.
I'm stoked. So I'm excited about doing that as well. So I'll probably be playing with that
Yeah.
this weekend.
I bet Hong Kong in the 50s was a trip.
And then like Tokyo Bay and all these places. So yeah, just gonna be cool. And Tahiti, I'd love to see.
It's Bay of Pigs. Your dad's all charged
all
at
these
the cars.
bikini shots.
Oh, yeah.
No,
Yeah.
they
Oh.
never saw combat, but
well,
but some of the pictures I just saw of like dudes on the. I mean, again, they're really small, but like dudes on the flight deck and all these tails of these jets behind them and stuff like
Do you
that.
remember the name of that boat that he was on?
Yes, he was on the boat that the Japan. I always said it was the Lexington, but it's not. He was on the Ghost ship. So during World War II, the Japanese thought they had sunk one of the 4 aircraft carriers in the Pacific, and they damaged it, but they didn't sink it.
Oh.
So the Americans were able to rebuild the deck and get it seaworthy and combat ready really quick.
Nice.
So at the Battle of Midway, this
We
boat
surprised them
shows
with a
up,
second. Nice.
and they're like, "What the fuck? We sank that one."
Yeah.
And they didn't, so they called it the Ghost ship.
Oh, and that's his
And
boat?
I don't. It's not the Lexington. It's a different
Oh,
one. I
man,
could
that's
look it
cool.
up.
All right.
Look it up, folks, if you're interested. But that was the boat, and he was really
That's
proud of.
great. Oh,
his
yeah,
time
no, that's
on that.
huge.
Had a
Oh,
great
yeah.
time in the Navy. He was one of those guys that just was like, "Oh, this was the best time of my life."
Yeah.
I would have thought it would have been the awfulest time of anybody's life being in the military, but
Yeah, well, geez, because
But it worked for
I
me.
think it's really bad, really mundane, and fun as hell.
He
'Cause
got-
you're young, you're in great shape, you got steady money coming in, you're away from home.
He had real issues with his father. His father and he did not get along. He wanted my dad to go to seminary school, become a minister, and all this stuff. They were really
Yeah.
poor. He grew up extremely poor.
Yeah, that's a great way to break the poverty cycle there.
Yeah, go into the ministry. So he was like, "I'm out. I'm gonna look for." He got out of high school. His buddy Johnny, that was the driver for Tom Hanks, went and joined the Army.
Yeah.
So he's like, "I'm joining the Navy," and he said it was the best time, man. He got to see the world. He was out.
Yeah.
But I mean, think
Did he
about it.
get the GI Bill as well when he got out, like college and stuff like that?
He probably did. He didn't use it. He went to work right away. He didn't go to college until he was probably in his 30s or 40s, and then did a little schooling, and then he taught school.
Geez, right on.
Yeah, he was
Oh, what
teaching
a
up
good
at
guy.
Seattle Central
Oh.
lithography because he was a lithographer for years.
Did not know that.
Yeah. Anyway, Dad, miss you, bud. Boys, ending this here episode on something positive, and this is all about giving advice. Giving advice is like seeing an elephant in someone's path and suggesting they remove it. Heeding advice requires forcing the elephant to budge. Huge difference. That's by author Rochelle E. Goodrich, which I haven't read any of it, but I like the quote. So, yes, I mean, advice is simple. Hey, get that elephant out of your path.
Yeah.
But actually doing
Yes.
is a lot harder than
It's easier to give advice than
Oh,
actually
yeah.
To
than
be able
actually
to do it.
To be able to do it, because I mean, I can give all kinds of advice, but do I ever follow through on my own?
Yeah, sometimes not.
No, not really.
Geez, folks, thank you for being here this week. We're going to go sign off on this, but we're going to come back and do our bonus round.
Bonus.
Which you can find on the aforementioned Patreon or on the website, the members only section.
it.
It's only like $3 a month.
Our
or a couple bucks a year.
podcast.
And we would just dance and
We
giggle.
would dance.
It makes us so happy.
Yeah, next subscriber,
Oh,
we will dance right here.
100%.
At least Mike will.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I'll go up and do like the truffle or something.
Truffle shuffle. So go find it right now. This week we're going to do our top 5 quick advice slogans. And it's like Mom always used to joke and say, "Don't take any wood nickels."
Sure.
Because that was stupid advice back in the day. So we're doing our advice slogans that we like a lot. So tune in.
Be there.
It's a good time. Other than that, if you don't, we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Please like, subscribe, comment, and share. And if you think this episode is worth $1 or $5, the boys would love to have it. Please go to ourtownpod.store for merch or to donate now. For less than a cup of coffee, you can also join the website in the member-only area for exclusive bonus content, vlogs, and more. It's just $3 a month or $30 a year. Thank you for listening to this production of Our Town Podcast Extraordinaire.